tell you all how happy I am to be back in the studio.
This week, North Korea fired a series of short-range missiles into the Sea of Japan, causing much alarm over Asia.
Warning! Warning!
China was reported to be developing long-range nuclear missiles capable of reaching Europe and America as part of an aggressive build-up of its military might.
Danger! Danger!
Iran was said to be only 3 years from developing its own nukes and continued to defy threats against it to stop. They said, "Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough."
No one is ever safe on this hostile planet.
And 3 crazies who plan to blow up nightclubs, amongst other things, left the country after breaching a control order. Now, trying to blow us all up is a very bad thing, but going abroad when we'd asked them politely if they wouldn't mind staying here, well, that's just rude.
Yeah.
But all the above paled into insignificance compared to the thaw in relations that occurred this week between Steve McLaren and David Beckham. At first, McLaren wanted to do it his way and dumped Beckham to show who's boss, but his plan backfired when he was shown to be not as useful an England coach as the bus that takes them to matches. And so Beckham will join the newly fit Michael Owen, Joe Cole and Alan Smith in a glorious England squad to heroically face Brazil and Estonia, by which I mean lose comprehensively and embarrassingly. Is Mourinho's dog available? Oh, totally exhausted. Let's have our first call in Finchley. Ray.
Good evening, Nick.
Yes, Ray.
How are you, mate?
I am all right, thanks.
Nice to be speaking to you again. It's only the second time I've spoken to you in this run.
Right. Haven't I been lucky?
Yeah, haven't you just? I think it was about a week or two ago you were reading some news story about the kid who had the spider in his ear.
Really? It seems like just 7 days.
Yeah. I found a similar story. A New Zealand man is now sleeping peacefully after years of living with an infestation of mites in his ear. What was it? The fellow, he said he owned a chicken shed cleaning business, and he believed the mites entered his ear one day when a chicken feed pan was emptied over his head.
What's a mite?
A mite? Cool, what on earth? Like a little midge, I guess.
You're guessing. This means that you haven't done your research, boy.
Right. Yeah, I'm not an expert on.
Well, that is disgusting.
It is, yeah. Well, I was reading through the odd stories in the news, and it just reminded me of that one you mentioned.
I'm glad that the Independent's new path is throwing up all this exciting stuff. Oh, my God, Lucy's pulling up pictures of mites. Among them, someone's arm, which was infested with it.
Oh, dear.
It's like something out of the Alien monster movie. That's horrible. In his ear?
In his ear, yeah. For about 2 years he had them in his ear, and for years he had no idea what was wrong, but he kept hearing these continual bubble and squeak noises, and it just got worse at night. And when they peered inside his ear, they found that hundreds of them, laying eggs, and it was a well-stocked breeding ground.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for starting this show off in a really super way, Ray.
I love the taste of mites in the morning.
It tastes like
victory.
Thanks, Ray.
Good night.
This is LBC. Not only am I exhausted, but I'm totally grossed out now.
Mites aren't very nice, are they?
Well, particularly the pictures that you just pulled up on the screen there. It's like medical...
I always find the nice ones.
Yeah, it's like medical pictures of people with mites in their arms. That was horrible. Why would you do that?
I thought you might like to see the effects of mites.
That's exactly what I want to see, yes.
My doggy had a mite the other week. Yeah, he scratched himself bald under his armpit.
Under his what?
Well, under his little leggy, his little leg. Arm thing. Front leg.
Under his arm thing,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't say
and his arm thing's connected to his...
body thing.
Body thing, yeah. That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah. They're not very nice, though. There are different sorts of mites. Some are just on the surface of the skin, and some can go right inside.
We probably got them from...
Apparently from humans or from fox poo.
Or mice.
No, I asked that. I checked. And apparently no. I was pleased to hear that, because I thought, oh no, we're going to have to move. What are we going to do?
Seen any mice lately?
Where they're on the stair.
No. Only mice poo.
Oh, right. Well, the one usually follows the other.
Yeah. I know. I don't know what's worse to find, the mice poo or actually see the mouse running around, cleaning himself. Neither is very good.
Well, if you just saw the mouse, then it might not actually be pooing in your flat. It might be like a cat going outside. So either way, you've got mice. So I think it's probably worse to see the mice product, but not the actual...
Mice pee smells bad as well.
Well, you would think so. It's pee.
Oh, it smells really strong, though. Considering a mouse does such a tiny little piddle, you'd never think it would be so acrid.
So far, I want you to write all the topics that we are doing again this week. All right. So at the end of the programme, we can look back and reminisce about how awful it all was.
Sure.
So far, we've had insects living in some bloke's ear, and you really have pushed this show into the gutter. Yes.
Yeah.
As usual. And I'm flailing around, desperately trying to keep this show afloat, and you're harpooning me.
You'll rescue it, I'm sure.
I don't know, though. It's Bank Holiday weekend. You know what that means?
What does that mean?
It means a metaphorical... I can never remember what those things are. What are those straw balls that drift across deserted western town?
Oh, yes.
Is it tumbleweeds?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Tumbleweeds.
The sound of tumbleweed.
That's what. Yes, that's what we'll get, because the phones were. Everyone's out of town. Bank holiday weekends. I don't know. People's phones stop working. No one ever calls.
Do you know what? I don't believe that though, because every single one of my friends is here this bank holiday.
Do any of their phones work? I bet we get through the entire.
Shall I ring them all?
I bet we get through the whole programme with less than 6 calls.
No way.
Well, we don't really take that many anyway, but I bet we don't get a single one. I'm on.
had one.
I'm on all next week. Oh well, we'll discount that because that was disgusting.
You're on all next week?
Yeah, I'm doing Paul Ross's show.
Oh, that's exciting.
So Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm going to have no one to talk to, like at all.
No, you see, I think you're just going in it with a negative attitude.
Well, that's me. That's how I run my life.
I think you.
And I'm usually right. I expect the worst, and I'm always.
Yeah, because all
correct.
thoughts are creative, aren't they?
Huh?
All thoughts are creative.
Oh no, you're not one of these freaks. I mean, people who believe that, are you?
Well, I'm just suggesting that if you thought...
Yeah, what is it? Self-fulfilling prophecy?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've got Noel Edmonds through the glass there. Oh, shut up. What if I write it on my hand, it's going to come true?
Well, if you just think that there are a lot of people around on
We're going to
Monday...
have to take you off the psychic show.
Really? Am I turning?
Cosmically order some calls.
You don't believe that rubbish, do you?
I believe in
If you
elements
write it
of
on your hand, it'll happen.
No, not on your hand. I don't believe that. I do think that thoughts are creative to an extent, though.
What do you mean creative?
Well, in the sense of, like, illness. If I think that I'm always well, on the whole, I'll be well.
Well, I think that I'm always ill.
And
I'm
you are.
always ill. But
Exactly.
see, again, I'm correct. It gets tiring being so right about everything all the time.
I think you could think yourself very well and very busy on Monday.
Hey, I am famous by, you see, I can't think of a single word. Like, I've already fell over tumbleweeds. I'm famous by proxy.
Oh, right.
Not quite the phrase I was going for, but that's the one I'm going to use. Because someone that I know was in the newspapers this week.
Oh, really?
Senior heart specialist Robin Roberts has been sacked for saving someone's life with a treatment that wasn't, in inverted commas, cost-effective. Dr. Roberts, who is taking the Kingston Hospital NHS Trust in London to a tribunal, reportedly said, "If you need to save a life, you just get on with it. You don't consult some pen pusher." And so some pen pusher turned around and fired him for saving someone's life without discussing it with him first. Isn't that incredible? He is my heart doctor.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's the man that saved my life. After my near-death experience.
I hope he wrote everything down beforehand. Oh, gosh, isn't that ridiculous?
This is Jane Moore, who's talking about this in the Super Soaraway today. And her comment to his, which is, you know, if you want to save someone's life, you just get on with it. Here, very bad word that you can't say on the radio that's perfectly all right to write in a family newspaper. Beginning with B and ending in Y. Here, here, can't say it. Almost certainly you can't. You could say it on the BBC. Oh, I watched.
Oh yes, I know what it is.
I watched a television programme on. It's probably the first thing I've ever seen on BBC Three. It's the children's channel, right, or the teenagers' channel from BBC Three.
Oh.
It was some half-hour comedy programme.
Have you been flicking channels?
Yeah.
You thought
Well,
you'd give BBC
the
breakfast.
newspaper said you've got to watch this because this is hilarious. It wasn't, but it was just. I've never seen such graphic sexual. Discussion and imagery for comic effect. I mean, it wasn't, a serious discussion about sexuality, and it wasn't a storyline that required detailed discussions about sexuality to be part of the story. So it wasn't anything. It was just for cheap laughs. I can't even tell you the things that they were joking about, let alone the actual words that they used on the radio.
So it wasn't
and
to
that
teach
was
the birds
and
and
that was
bees.
for children. Amazing. Can somebody explain that to me? I won't get onto that again.
It wasn't supposed to be educational at all.
No, it's a comedy programme.
Gosh.
Oh, I've never seen anything like it. And I can't even list the thing. I can't even sort of talk around it. Insane. And that's perfectly all right. Nobody complains about that.
Too scarred. Well, you won't do that again.
If there ever was a story that perfectly encapsulates how the management-heavy, job-justifying NHS has lost sight of its true purpose, says Jane Moore in the Super Soaraway, she says, then this is it. Quite right, too. I'm going to give him an apple or something.
He'll be delighted.
I'll give him a duster to polish his posh car. I just want to shake him by the hand. He's a lifesaver, but the NHS doesn't want that sort of person in its organisation.
Video calls flashing up on the indicator.
Hello, Sarah.
Hello, how are you
Sarah, I am super. Thanks for asking.
doing? Excellent. Yeah, I'm calling about mice and dogs.
Mice and dogs.
Yeah.
Right.
I unfortunately have mice. I don't know where they come from or how they got in. 'Cause my apartment is just sort of brand new and stuff.
You've seen a mouse?
Where? There on the stair.
Yes. And I bought those, like, glue traps, but now they avoid the areas where the glue traps are. I don't know how they know not to step there.
What's a glue trap?
It's like
Apart from the obvious.
Think of a flat piece of cardboard with super industrial strength glue on it.
Oh, come on. No glue's that strong.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
So if you get a mouse, I mean, they use them in New York all the time. If you get a mouse on there, it gets stuck. It can't leave.
Oh.
And then, you know...
So it has to bite its own feet off?
It can't move. It's just sort of stuck. It's, you know...
Well, if it really wanted to get away, then that's what it would do. It would bite through its own legs, wouldn't
It can't, because its legs are stuck to... Like, it can't lift itself. Like, imagine if you're stuck on something, you know, that's glued. You just can't move.
That's right. Well, that's that film Saw.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
No, I lasted about 5 minutes. I thought, this isn't for me.
But when
This is not a happy film, I thought.
Oh, no, it could be. I don't know. I haven't
No, it isn't. No, believe me, it's not.
But when I was a student, I lived on the 10th floor of our dorm room, and when we got mice, we used to sort of like frisbee them off the balcony.
Oh, Sarah, that's an awful thing to say. Frisbee them.
Yeah.
Can you throw a frisbee so that it comes back? Did you ever try that?
No, it wasn't a boomerang.
Okay.
But anyhow, all right.
Because there's all kinds of tricks you can do with frisbees. You can bounce them off the ground, and they can come up and meet somebody who's, you know, opposite you. Did you ever try that with a mouse? Of course
No, but
not.
I feel like people who only have too much time on their hands really go to that extent to learn how to do things like that.
But what about the people below who, it's raining mice?
Okay, well, two things. Like, 1 year I faced the courtyard, so you could, like, sort of look over and see if anyone was there. And another year we faced the street. And then, so it didn't so much matter because they're just cars, you know. Sort of
And it's New York, and you'd expect that sort of thing anyway.
Yes.
That's a very bad thing to do. You must be joking. Everyone that's listening to this and is putting green crayon to paper to complain about this, she's only kidding. Say you're only kidding, Sarah.
I'm only kidding.
Thank you very much.
But I'm not. But I am. Okay, so anyhow, my dog is, has, I think, spotted the mouse. I hope it's just one, but they always say you never have one mouse.
Yeah.
And now she just stares at the wall, waiting for it to appear.
Oh, so you can probably hear them scrabbling around behind the wall.
I think she can. Like, I can't. I mean, I sometimes can hear them, but she, like, hours she'll spend, okay, her eyes just fixed to the wall.
Because cats do that. So it's not a cat. Cats will just sit and look at the wall for hours, won't they? As though to say, I'm not very interested in you at the moment. I'm just going to look at the wall.
Yeah, but it's weird because my dog is quite codependent. So she's the sort of dog that really needs a lot of attention. She's a little Yorkie. She's very cute.
Right. And people buy dogs to reflect their own personality, Sarah.
She's a rescue dog.
Right. I don't know what that means. What that means in relation to what I just said, but
I got her from the dog pound.
right.
So I want her.
So you got her. Oh, and its little face was peering out of its little cell, and you thought,
yeah, she needs a good home.
yeah. Well, that's sweet. Everything that you've said so far has been sweet, apart from, you know, murdering small defenseless animals. That part, we'll just pretend we didn't
It's not
say.
murder. If they run on the glue trap, it's a suicide mission as far as I'm concerned.
No, it was the flinging them out the window that I was concerned about, but never mind, we'll just pass that one by. Them bouncing off the courtyard.
I see.
Horrible. Anyway, it's the way of all things. Even David Attenborough would agree with that. But thanks for really dragging us down, Sarah.
Sorry.
I hope that you get your mouse problem sorted without any further loss of life. Okay.
Okay, well, have a good night, Nick.
Thanks, Sarah.
All right.
Ta-ta. Can we have a happy call now? So far, we've had what we've had so far. We've had some
Insects
man
in
who
here.
had a colony of insects in his head.
Yep.
And massacring small defenceless little animals.
That wasn't very nice. That is supposed to be barbaric for mice.
What, getting thrown out of a 10th floor window? Yeah, barbaric for any kind of animal that's not a bird.
Exactly.
I think, yeah.
Better to snap them dead.
Oh, or just bite their heads off, perhaps. Would you prefer that? Snap them dead?
You know, the snap trap.
Margate. Hello, John.
Hi, Nick. How you doing?
All right. A little disturbed, but you know.
Yeah, me too. I've got a little brain teaser for you. You're a clever lad. I thought you might be able to work it out.
Oh, Struth.
I've told everyone at work, and no one's got the answer.
Well, I've been recently trying the cryptic crossword on the back of the Telegraph, with some success. Like some days I'll get one, and other days I'll complete the whole thing. Thereby,
the one in the sun is easier.
Thereby, almost certainly making myself less stupid.
Absolutely.
Well, this will make your head explode. This one.
Try it on me.
Right. You paying attention?
Yes.
Right. There's these three fellas want to go and buy a radio, right? So they go to the shop. The shopkeeper sees them coming, and he thinks that they're a bit drunk. So the radio normally costs £25. He thinks they're a bit drunk. I'll charge them £30. So they pay the £30, take the radio away. After they've left, you with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. After they've left, the shopkeeper starts to feel guilty. So he says to the paper boy, take these £5 coins, which should have been their change, run after them and give them their money back. So I'm feeling a bit guilty. Give them their change back. So the paper boy runs after them. On the way, he thinks, I'll have a bit of this. So he sticks £2 in his pocket, the paper boy. Catches up with the fellas, gives them their £3 back. So they've paid 27 for the radio now, because they've got £3 change, right?
No.
What do you mean, no?
He gives them £3 back.
Yeah, he keeps £2 in his pocket, gives them £3 back. So they've paid £27 for the radio. The paper boy's kept £2. Where's the other £1 gone?
Yeah, I've heard this before, and I hated it the first time I heard it. Lucy's diligently writing it down. You lost me. What kind of a shop was it they bought it from?
It was a radio shop.
Oh, right. What kind of a radio was it?
An expensive radio shop. It was a DAB, which you can get LBC on.
Oh, they're very good. So was it a pure? Was it a pure digital?
It was a pure DAB digital radio.
Okay. Well, you can't get them for. See, this is where your story falls apart. You can't get them for £25.
It was a sort of cash converter sort of shop.
Was it a second-hand shop?
Second-hand, yeah.
Oh, well, you should have said that at the beginning.
Oh, sorry about that.
See, now I'll have to make new calculations.
Yeah.
You're completely wasting my time, John.
I know. I do apologise. I should have said that at the beginning.
So they spent... I don't know. I have heard this one before, and it's something... Oh, I don't know.
It's always with the number 7, isn't it, that this happens?
Yeah. Why are you torturing us like this?
Well, I thought you said it would be quiet tonight, so I thought it might get people ringing in.
This is part of your evil nature, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yes.
Sadistic.
All right. Thanks a lot, John.
No problem.
Ta-ta.
Bye-bye.
Right, so what is it? I don't think I want to do that.
No.
My brain hurts.
Let's just stick it on the list.
I
That's
don't
something
do
else.
maths, I do words. And I don't even do them very well. Hello, Louise.
Hi, Nick.
God, you're loud.
Am I?
Well, I'll tone you down, this end.
Okay. Am I all right now?
Yes, you're great. Carry on.
Good. You know this thing about you, Lucy was saying you actually think yourself ill.
Yeah.
I was reading somewhere they did an experiment with someone who thought she was allergic to something, I can't remember what it was, and the reaction that she had was that her throat swollen up.
Yeah.
Swollen up. And they said, do you expect this every time you eat this food? And she said, yeah. So they said, well, we'll try and do things to take your mind off of it. And I don't know how they did it, but she could eat this food without her throat swelling up.
What
She didn't think it was going to happen.
What food was it?
I can't remember what it was. It was ages ago. When
All of these stories that people are coming in with, they've got holes like Swiss cheese.
So you can think yourself ill.
Well, you could have just been making that up. Where's the detail in this story, Louise?
No, I read it like ages ago.
But you remember it perfectly, apart from...
No, apart from the details.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, if somebody's got a cold around you, and you think, I'm going to get that, and you end up sniffling, and if they say, oh, I've got a headache with my cold, you get an headache, and you think, oh, I've got their cold. That's another way you can think yourself ill.
Right. Well, yes, I do believe that there's something in that you, if you go through life positively and you always think the best, then it is very likely that you will live a long and happy life. Which means I'm totally screwed, doesn't it? But I'll soldier on. I am so brave. All right, thanks for the bad news, Louise.
Okay, Nick.
All right, cheers.
Bye.
So far, we've had a man with insects living in his head.
Yeah.
A woman slaughtering little mice.
A brain teaser.
Yeah. That was my least favourite part. Because I don't even want to start thinking about that. And,
all thoughts are creative.
No, it's not creative. You don't mean creative. Stop using that word.
Oh, you're telling me off. Okay, the power of positive...
Thought, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That's on the list. Are you remembering these?
I'm not, that's why you're writing them down. The power of positive thought.
Okay.
We've got no chance, have we, Alex?
Actually, he's complaining of a dicky tummy now. As well.
I'm trying to think myself better again.
You're often thinking you're ill as well. He said it's lucky he came in today because he didn't feel well.
Oh.
£50,000.
Oh, we shouldn't do this. Because it's crazy and dangerous.
So the £3 comes off the 25, not the 30, or something like that. I don't know. I've heard that one before, and it was just so annoying. There's two trains travelling in opposite directions. Which side has got the hen that lays the egg or something? I don't know. I hate all those. I do. There's a man lying dead in the middle of a room with a puddle of water by him and a bit of string.
How did he die?
Yeah. Who cares? He's dead. Hooray. Belinda, Richmond.
Hello.
Hello, Belinda.
Hello. The woman, the glue, and the mouse. First of all, she can be prosecuted for cruelty to animals.
Not in New York.
Ah, well. She can go to the equivalent to the RSPCA and get a trap. A humane trap. Must people always be cruel?
Yeah, why can't we just kill them more efficiently?
Why kill them?
Huh?
Why kill them? They can be let out into the countryside.
And have productive lives. Yeah.
Well, everybody has to kill everything.
Well, that's the human condition, isn't it? That's what we're programmed to do. Kill if we can't, make sweet love to it, will kill it.
Yes, I was on the bus the other day, and a wasp got on.
Wasp?
And there were lots of children. All they thought about was killing it. Instead of getting a handkerchief out and picking it up and putting it out the window.
Right, did it get on at a stop?
Well, I put it out the window. But another pet hate. Please, please, please. Use the word children, not kids. Children is a lovely word.
Right. And kids are small donkeys.
Well, perhaps in your world they are. But kids are lovely creatures, absolutely beautiful babies.
So tasty.
But children, the word children has gone out of fashion.
Yes, much as children have. The very old has.
I don't know about that. But please, please don't use the word kids when you mean children.
Rightio, Belinda.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. So, I wonder how many kids are going to be calling up this late at night. All the kids will be in bed, don't you think? The kids, Lucy?
Yep.
Much of the kids will be in bed at this time of night. We don't want any kids calling this show.
Nick.
Here is Thanet. Michelle, Marbell.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am great, mate.
My child isn't in bed yet.
Right.
She's on the computer playing games.
Oh, right. You want to stop that straight away. How old is she?
She's 9.
9?
Yeah.
It's 10:35.
I know it is.
What time is bedtime?
Well, she doesn't really have a bedtime at the weekend, to be honest.
What? Right. Up all night?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. She's alright, though. No,
Very relaxing, Thanet. Yeah. Anyway, what's up, Michelle?
Not too much. I just thought I'd give you a ring, because Ray told me you were back on the air, and he suggested to phone you, so it's been a long time. Thought I'd say hello.
Been a long time, been a long lonely time.
What is it, 4 years?
Blimey, you're asking me. I've got no idea.
I think it is, yeah. I think it's about 4 years.
So, I was just saying to Luce the other day, Michelle, I wonder whatever happened to Michelle. So what happened to you, Michelle?
What happened to me? Oh, well, I went back to Manchester, sadly. You know, came back again now.
Well, you would, yeah. What did you want to go to Manchester for? It's awful up
I
there.
got homesick. Would you believe it? But yeah. So,
And then you got sick of home and had to come back.
yeah. Depression and stuff. So.
Set in as soon as you got to Manchester, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. I don't want to go back there ever again.
No, well, who does? Even the people in Manchester don't want to live there.
No, exactly. So, we've got no jibber jabbers these days, though. Mine died.
No, I don't, I've put all that behind me.
Yeah.
Jibber jabbers. No, I used to give them out like I was, money with a drunken sailor. I was just throwing them around, I was. But I don't do that anymore. I have left the, toys of childhood behind. Now I'm, much more mature.
Yeah. Right. You still there?
Yeah.
All right, okay. It went really quiet then.
What, for a millisecond it went quiet?
It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
But don't smile, and it's your head as well.
Well, that's for, that's a matter, that's between me and my doctor.
I didn't mean it like that. So anyway, this is really weird.
Yeah, strange. I know, it's like a phone-in radio show.
No, I don't mean the show, I mean...
Like a show.
To you again, yeah.
Well, anyway, Michelle, that's about it then, I reckon.
Yeah.
Unless there's more?
No, that's it. I just wanted to say hello.
Super, you touched base. Thanks, Michelle.
All right, take care.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
So, like I said, we aren't going to get any calls tonight, and in they pour. So what have we talked about so far? Nothing.
Well...
Talking about wasps attacking, there was this big thing about bees in Bournemouth. Did you read about that?
No.
Well, first of all, that there was early spring. Spring has sprung, apart from now, when it's freezing blooming cold and pouring down with rain, and it's all due to global warming. Hip hip?
Yeah.
That's rubbish, isn't it?
I know, we were counting on the sun out all summer, weren't we?
Well, once it started to get really nice, because we had that nice thing in April, and then it started raining for about 7 years, and then at the beginning of
this week?
last week, It was absolutely full-on, super fantastic. And everyone's shoulders dropped, and we thought, oh, it can't possibly get worse now. Now it's practically June. And you need a mountaineering gear to go outside now. It's hideous.
I know it's going to be 8 degrees, isn't it, tomorrow?
What?
Yeah.
8?
Freezing.
You're kidding?
And I've just put my summer duvet on. It's very irritating.
Anyway, British wildlife emerged early from winter this year, a new survey suggests, and experts believe it's because of warmer weather. Hooray! But they fear that because species are reacting differently, food chains could be disrupted, with potential severe consequences.
Oh, no!
And on it goes, bang, bang, bang. But the, why is this upside down? Don't know. But bees have been on the attack in Bournemouth.
Really?
And above Bournemouth, a passenger jet had to turn back to an airport in Britain after flying into a swarm of bees, stranding almost 200 passengers for 11 hours. Imagine that bees could knock a jumbo jet, well, not a jumbo jet, but, you know,
what could they have done to the plane?
Well, they went in its engine.
What, and started
killed themselves and started to. Well, there was no afterwards. They just went in the engine, and that was it for the bees.
Yeah, but then why couldn't the plane just carry on?
I don't know, Luce.
Oh.
It's a plane thing.
Yeah, but
buts. It's down here in black and white.
Okay.
Yeah, but the Palm Air Boeing 737. See, it's huge. From Bournemouth, Dorset to Faro in Portugal, took off at 8:10 a.m. on Thursday before hitting the insects. Blimey, if that's all it takes to bring down a plane, that's really concerning, isn't it?
But that's what I mean.
You're
It's
over
a
the
big
butts
plane. I can't understand this. Surely the heat from an engine of a plane
well, apparently
would just
not.
incinerate them
and
instantly.
Don't call me Shirley. The pilot experienced an engine surge nearly an hour into the journey, forcing him to return the aircraft to Bournemouth to be checked over by engineers. After they ruled it unsafe to fly, it was replaced by another aircraft. Bees killed the plane. The incident happened just 2 days after a swarm of 20,000 bees descended on Bournemouth Pier. It was probably the same batch.
They were suitably annoyed after they.
Well, people were freaking out and running from the pier and taking cover. 20,000, that's a cloud. Initially they thought it was a cloud of, like a flock of birds from a distance. From a distance.
That's lovely.
But it got closer and the hum got louder and they realised it's not birds at all. And they're not very far away. They're right in your face and they're not... It's not small birds that you're seeing from a distance. They're giant bees right up against you. 20,000 of them.
But bees don't attack, do they?
Huh?
I didn't think bees attacked humans normally. They only attack when provoked.
Right. Or their little bee minds think they're being provoked.
Someone must have done something then.
I mean, they don't go to a bee court and decide at length whether someone has... They just decide and do it.
But when I watched it with David Attenborough...
Really?
Well, no, he and I weren't... watching it together.
And what attracted you to the millionaire David Attenborough?
But they were showing that the bee only attacked when it could smell the
fear.
And the hormone that we give off, that once you've been stung, so it wouldn't normally do that. So maybe someone had tampered somehow and made the bees go bad.
Or just shown fear, which is what you show when there's 20,000 bees descend on you.
Well, yes, that is pretty frightening, isn't it?
Stick a butt in there.
How do they know they're 20,000?
They counted them, yeah. They asked them to stand still long enough.
Are we asking too many questions?
Yes. You two are so annoying. The incident happened just 2 days after a swarm of 20,000, exactly 20,000, bees descended on Bournemouth Pier. It's believed the plane's engines ingested the bees while flying over Bournemouth, but this did not cause problems until later in the flight. So they descended on the pier and tried to kill the people on the pier because their little bee minds they flipped out and went into attack mode. And when that didn't work, they tried to bring down an airliner.
These Al-Qaeda bees?
Yes.
I thought we were trying to save the bees as well.
So it's actually our fault because spring has come early, and that's going to affect animals' ability to survive, because animals depend on other animals emerging at the right time so they can eat them, or fling them off the balcony of a 10th floor flat, for fun.
Oh dear.
And because spring is now all screwed up, or apparently it comes like 7 days early, and you wouldn't think that would make a big difference. I mean, if 7 days is going to make the difference between your species dying or surviving, then perhaps you weren't worth hanging on to anyway.
I'd like wasps to die. They feel completely pointless to me. I hate them.
Well, flies I hate. What's the point of flies?
They're horrible. Oof.
You can't, and you have to, no matter how hot it gets, you have to keep all your windows and doors closed in the flat. It's like a steam room.
What, in case something comes
Yeah,
in?
in case flies fly in, yeah.
And then, of course, always in the bathroom, just as you're going to bed, there's a giant moth.
How can they find their way in, but they can never find their way out?
I know.
There can be a 12-foot wide opening to go out, and they'll, for the next 10 hours, bump up against a 2-inch wide piece of glass that's the only thing between them and freedom. How stupid are flies? If they're that stupid, how come there's so many of them? 12 billion. Exactly, Alex.
Ian Lee's Good Evening.
Evening, dear. You can talk to me.
Hey, did anybody go to the... Anybody? Did either of you two go to the grass on, Trafalgar Square?
Want to score some pot?
No.
Yeah, they had a lot of grass in Trafalgar Square. Not for the first time, as a matter of fact.
Right. I saw the picture. It looked excellent.
It did, didn't it? It looked like a Pink Floyd cover. It looked surreal, man. And bizarrely, there didn't seem to be anybody in it. All the pictures were of a completely empty Trafalgar Square. How did they get that? I saw maybe 2 people in one photograph, and they were both sitting on deck chairs with other people behind a little tape, one of those sort of police lines don't cross tapes.
Oh, yeah.
But it was the flimsiest tape, and didn't look like it was actually an authoritative instruction not to pass this tape.
You would have been tempted.
Well, I wouldn't have taken it very seriously. But there were a lot of people sort of crowded, looking longingly at the great swathes of grass before them, but unable to actually, partake of the fun because of a tiny little strip of plastic. We will not pass.
How very British.
Yeah. Well, that looked great, but they only had it there for a day. Or like 2 days at the most, I think. And it was the wrong days. It was something like it went down on Thursday and came up on Friday, thereby meaning that only people that work in the West End could see it. Tourists, who it was aimed at, would never have seen it, because they'd have been out on the weekend. I think the point was to make tourists think about going to parks and not just, clog up the National Gallery.
Museums.
So you can't see any of the pictures. There's hordes of awful people in the way.
It is rather irritating when the one day you choose to go and see a bit of London's sort of greatness, but never mind.
People everywhere. So awful. They are. I hate them.
Oh,
run
dear.
out of bees, I think.
Well, you go to an exhibition, and I always forget, and I always have to go on the last day. An exhibition will be on for 3 months, and I always forget and have to cram everything in on the very last day, and it'll be 10 deep. So there are pictures on the wall, but you've got no idea what they are. You need to take your own ladder.
Just have a look.
Just because tourists aren't going to parks. Getting in my way there.
Maybe you should go up whispering in their ears. Go to a park. Go to Hyde Park. It's much better than this.
They'd mishear me in a foreign language and think I was trying to chat them up.
That's true, yes. It could backfire.
Call the authorities, yeah. No, but that's what tourists don't do. You come to London, and what do you want to do? You want to go to the National Gallery, you want to go to Buckingham Palace, you want to go... Where else do they want to go? You want to go to Tower of London.
Yeah.
I want to go to Lakeside. Huh?
Thames?
The Thames?
Yeah.
You want to go to the Thames?
Yeah.
And what? Spit in it?
No, along the sort of bankside.
Hockalooey.
Flying Eye. The London Eye, I mean.
Yeah, the London Eye, that's another thing you'd want to do. They want to go and peer at those old
Paul's?
duffers, those...
Perhaps?
Tower Bridge?
In the Houses of Parliament.
Yeah, Tower Bridge.
Tower
and the
Bridge,
Gherkin.
that's right. Yeah, the Gherkin.
We'll just have a look at it.
Well, from afar, yeah. You'd never find it if you were actually trying to go and find it
No,
close up.
but it's lovely looking along the river, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Nothing more lovely, yeah.
Oh, I do think it's beautiful. Check out the Millennium Bridge. See if it wobbles.
That is a great bridge. That's one of the best. London has actually. You know what? It's not Tony's. It's not down to Tony, so he can't take any credit for it, although he will. But London has changed dramatically over the last 10 years. I mean, it used to be a dump. Let's face it. It used to be some kind of second-rate, dirty dump. But then they seem to have. Well, there was the two bridges. What are they called on either side of the embankment rail bridge? They're called the Princess of Wales bridges. There's a pair of them, absolutely fantastic, and they've stuck the wheel there, which is you know, all well and good. But tourists never go to parks, and that's the one thing that London has got that I think better than any other city that I know. London's parks beat anywhere. I mean, you go to New York, and there is no green apart from one giant block of it in the middle, which is, well, it's just not like a park really at all, is it? It's just a because there's so many huge buildings, you know, glowering over it.
Diana Fountain. Do people not go and see that?
Yeah, they do. They wash their feet in it.
Well, it is a really spectacular thing.
Well, it's not spectacular.
No, I know.
Oh, you were being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a nice thing. I mean, everyone was really, oh, this is rubbish, because we just moan and moan and moan in this country, don't we, about everything. Oh, I really hate it. We can't be positive about anything, which is why this show so reflects, you know, a national psyche. I am in tune with the zeitgeist of the nation, whatever that means.
Okay.
I read that word in the NME once. They use that word a lot. they spray it all over the place. At least they used to. Zeitgeist. Oh, yeah, let's wheedle that one in there somewhere. The kids have got no... the children have got no idea what that means. We'll just throw it in there and make us seem like we know what we're on about.
But you like the fountain?
Well, I don't dislike it. I think it's a charming thing. It's got little to do with Princess Di. I mean, it's a feminine shape, right enough. It's borders on the disgusting. But, you know, the water goes around and around, and it makes a little nice noise, and how could you object?
I don't think it's anything much to...
Moan,
Look at it, it's just dull.
Stop whining!
I'm normally very optimistic
Yeah,
about
that's
things.
you. Mm-hmm.
You know, I like to see the good in things, but that doesn't really do it for me.
Well, it's less of a fountain, more of a water feature.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had that in your garden, you'd be pleased.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Huh?
No. Would you want that in your garden?
Well, I'd have it in a corner of my garden.
No.
I mean, if you had...
but that wouldn't really work.
If you had
then,
100
would it?
acres, then you could have it in a corner of your garden.
Yeah. No, not for me.
Not really?
No, I don't think so.
You'd rather a more straight-ahead feature?
I think so, yeah.
Right.
Something a little more...
You're a classicist?
Yes. I've got my little pebble feature in the corner of my garden.
What, is it a pebble?
No, I've got some Japanese white pebbles, and then I've got
like I
my
said,
pots on top.
it's a pebble.
Yeah, but there's lots of them.
That's not a feature, that's just rubble.
No, it's certainly not rubble. I've made it into a little feature, but the dog keeps peeing on the stones, which is making them go yellow.
So it's smelly, yellow rubble.
Yeah.
You're not really selling this to me, are you?
It looks nice after it's rained.
Yeah, that's... And you used to live in such a lovely place, Luce, out in the country. Oh, it was idyllic. With little kids, actual real kids.
Not the children.
Yeah, the other kind. The ones with the, you know, the goatee beards. Gambling across, little things they were. It was lovely. And the little, you know, your green lawn stretching down to your white picket fence. Now, you live in a hovel, which, the best feature of which is a yellow-stained pile of rubble at the back of your yard. How are you liking that new house, Luce?
I hate it! Mary, to think they charged me love you a long time.
And I really mean that. Here is Surbiton. Hello, Oscar.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Oscar.
Hi, you are the nuts, you are. I wanted to have a word with you about thoughts. You were talking about thoughts earlier on.
About what?
About thoughts, thinking, the power of thought and positive thinking.
Oh, thought! I thought you meant forts.
No, thought.
Thoughts.
T-H.
T-H-O-R-T-S, yeah.
That's right. But I was sort of amused by the story that the woman came up with about this wasp that got on the bus. I think it was just her turn of phrase.
Yeah.
That she kind of said, "Oh, this wasp got on the bus."
I know, and it wasn't even a stop.
I know. I had this image of these people trying to kill it because it was boarding or alighting the bus while the bus was still in motion.
Yeah, I was talking to the driver while the bus was going. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They're battering it as if to say, stand in the queue at the bus stop.
Yeah,
it black and yellow so-and-so.
It didn't swipe its avocado card.
Yeah. But you know this business about sort of positive thoughts and we can affect the world supposedly through our thinking or whatever, or you mentioned about Noel Edmonds painting things on his hand and all that.
Yeah.
You watch a lot of TV. Have you never watched Monkey? Did you ever watch that Japanese series Monkey?
No.
No? Oh, well, you should have seen Monkey, because in the titles of that there's a thing about the Father Buddha said, "With our thoughts we make the world." And it's kind of a wise thing, because we perceive the world through our senses and sort of process it with our minds. So in a funny sort of way, we do kind of have some sort of a power over our perception.
Oh yeah, I completely believe all of that. Yeah, I just, but in order to make my life better, I would have to think more positive thoughts. But who can be bothered with that?
Well, it's sort of an interesting thing, isn't it? Because have you ever wondered? Your experience as a person in life is very peculiar. Have you ever wondered why you are you? I mean, you're receiving all these messages coming in via your senses. You seem to dwell within this body that people refer to as being Nick Abbott. Does it ever sort of cross your mind? Do you ever wonder why you are specifically you?
Am I being abused here?
No. I'm just sort of it's the sort of the psychological, philosophical aspect of it. Does interest me. Does it not fascinate other people?
Well, speaking as someone who's got a degree in psychology, I would have to say no.
No. Well, but why? Surely it's one of the most interesting things to ponder, why you are specifically yourself. You are inside yourself gazing outwards, and you kind of assume that there's the same kind of entity within each individual person that you see or gaze falls upon. You see someone and you assume that they see you in the same way, sort of thing, that it's reciprocated, but you don't really know. But it's one of those kind of very interesting mysteries of life, which, it in a way, it's one of the things that dispels evolution, for example, because if evolution were true, why would I be specifically me? If evolution were the way people say it is, then there would be no specific me.
Oh, Struth, are we about to get into religion?
Well, no, I'm not being religious. It's more psychology. This is why I thought,
Well, people don't see you how you think you are. People don't see me how I think I am. In my mind, I'm a svelte 19-year-old with a 26-inch waist. In reality, I'm a giant, hideous blob. But that's just something I'm going to have to live with, Oscar. All I'll have to do is just avoid mirrors. All right. But you've certainly given us a lot to think about.
Okay.
Right, cheers. I'll be contemplating that during my happy morning sit-down tomorrow. Try that too, Luce.
So what we doing?
I love this story about the private schools that have been told that they're going to have to share their facilities with poor people. And the private schools are always... What? What are you looking at me like that for? And the private schools are saying, oh, yes, we think this is a super idea. We just can't wait to share our teachers and our science labs and our sports facilities with the comprehensive down the road. And that's what they're saying in public. In private, they're saying... come on. Hey. That's why parents of well-off kids, children, send them to private school. So
because
that they
can.
Yeah. And they're saying, it'd be really super fantastic, the government's saying, if the children of private schools could mix with the children of comprehensive schools. And I'm thinking, that's why parents send their children to private schools, so they don't have to mix with the kids from the council. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're not happy about it, despite the noises that they're making in the news. Oh, we think this is a great idea, they're saying.
Don't most schools have to still do sport, though, against local comprehensives, even if they're private?
What do you mean?
Well, don't they still have netball teams and hockey teams and football teams?
What, that they go and...
They go to each other's schools to play. So they still do interact.
Eton will show up with their, with their rowing team.
And wipe the socks off the other school.
Well, to a comprehensive that don't have boats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we showed up with polo ponies, but they just didn't want to play.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they're not those sports. All across, or...
Well, we said we'd meet at Everest to go mountaineering, but they just couldn't afford to get there.
Didn't turn up on the piste. Oh, dear.
I think that's just the whole idea of it. It's comical. Oh, they're rubbing their hands with glee. Oh, yes, we're going to mix with council, comprehensive children. Woohoo! Let's bus Hackney to Eton. Woohoo, they're saying. And then they're holding their heads in their hands in private, thinking, no! As are the parents. In between building a kitchen extension and putting in a pog and pole kitchen, they're writing furious letters after, I didn't send my child to your school to be mixing with the hoi polloi. But they can't say that, of course, because that would be a discrimination. Absolutely. So they have to pretend that they're fully on board with all of that. Yeah. And I've been to both. I went to a comprehensive and a public school.
Yeah, I've done both as well.
And in which order did you do it?
Comp first.
Yeah.
Private second.
Me too. Yeah. And why did they send you to a private school? You obviously weren't doing very well, falling behind, not concentrating in class.
Yeah, I think they did think all of those things. Yeah.
Flicking spit bombs.
Yeah, becoming a little bit too unruly.
Were you?
Yeah.
Did you used to be unruly?
A little bit, yeah. I was a little bit naughty.
Define the nature of your unruliness.
Well, I was a bit naughty then when I went to my private school, because I'd taken my bad habits with me.
Now, you see, anyone who says the word naughty isn't.
Okay. Well, I used to pick on
they may be
vegetarians
naughty,
in my class.
but they're not unruly. Like, unruly is, stabbing the teacher in the face with a compass.
Oh, no, I wasn't like that. No, I stuck a raw fish in someone's pencil case. And in their desk.
Right, why did you do that?
Because she was a vegetarian. And she didn't want to join in biology with dissecting things.
And so
because she was a veggie.
So you stuck a raw fish in her pencil case
Just
in
the
her
head.
desk. Oh, well, see, that's worse.
I know.
I mean, you said that as though it was, not a whole fish. I mean, I'm not crazy, you said.
Yeah, it was quite childish. And very immature.
Yeah, and what kind of emotional distress do you think you caused? I mean, she's probably still
very
trying
upset.
to... Well, yeah, I would think so. I mean, she doesn't like eating fish, let alone...
Looking at its
hanging
little
around
head.
with the heads of them.
I know. Anyway, I've
And
grown
how
out
old
of
were you?
all that kind of behaviour now.
Right, was this when you were doing your PhD?
No, I was only 12 at the time.
Right.
But, it wasn't the best idea, and I, of course, at the time thought it was hilarious to misbehave so badly. And everyone egged me on.
Oh,
said,
I see. It
"I'll
wasn't
do
your
it."
fault.
No,
It
I
was-
came up with the idea, and I said, I'm going to do this, and they went, are you? And I went, yeah. And they were like, oh.
Did you have any idea, Alex, that we were working with someone quite so fundamentally evil?
Yeah, I had my suspicion.
I'm a hooligan.
I've been taking notes over the last year or so, and I'm building up a dossier.
Right, you, Luce, make notes of the subjects that we talk about, and Alex can make notes about your,
My behaviour.
your misbehaviour, yeah.
Well, I must say, I'm not, pleased with myself with this kind of behaviour.
Yeah, I would think so.
And I
but
did buy a brand new pencil case.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You
I was
had
made
to?
Yes, I had detention for about 3 weeks.
Was it a fish-shaped one?
No, it wasn't a fish-shaped one. But,
And was that the limit of your naughtiness, or was it part of a, see, already I'm lost for words again.
Was it,
Maybe this tea
did I
isn't
carry
working.
on with this kind of...
Yeah, was it part of a pattern?
Well, I think just initially, when I first went there, probably, I wanted to kind of, I don't know, assert myself, I suppose.
Was this in the public school?
Yeah.
Because I did the same thing. I went from a comprehensive in Essex.
Yeah.
Boswell's comprehensive in Chelmsford in Essex, to a private school in Edinburgh, which was built in something like 1610 and looked like a castle. And going from a sort of 60s concrete low-rise mess of a school to something that looked like something out of a sword and sorcery epic, I thought, right, I'll take over here, because I used to...
That's the trouble, isn't it?
Well, I used to hang out with... I was never one of the hard lads, but I used to hang out with them, and by association, you gained a reputation, even though I never had to prove myself.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, no problem here. Everyone's going to be a stuck-up toff, and they'll be busy playing chess in the playground, I thought. And so I arrived in my... it was like a trench coat, but this was 1974 or 5, so the collars were gigantic. The collars were actually wider than the coat itself. You could have landed a plane on the collars of this trench coat, which were turned up, naturally. I was almost invisible inside this thing.
Aww.
From certain angles, you couldn't see me.
Did you have your little shorts on
It just
as
looked
well?
like a... No, it just looked like a coat was standing up. Shorts?
Yeah. Didn't little boys always wear shorts to private school?
No. Well, we had a uniform, right enough. But not short. Well, that was for the younger kids.
Oh, yeah, so you were a bit older then, were you?
Yeah, I wore shorts this last week, by the way. I took my knees out and gave them an airing.
Get you.
Far too early, as it turned out, yeah. But anyway, so I thought, right, I'll, and I took on the psycho of the school.
Because you were so hard by now.
Yes.
Oh dear.
And there was some altercation in the dinner room where I think I spilled his juice or something like that. I was just trying to make some sort of ridiculous point.
Let me guess.
And this caused some shockwaves around the school, because nobody ever said boo to this kid. And I was informed that he was going to beat me up in the playground, but it never actually came to pass. And he got someone pregnant and killed someone eventually, I think.
Seriously?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
But he was removed shortly afterwards for just...
Whereas in actual fact, you were the one starting it. Trying to show your big man muscles.
No, it wasn't my fault at all, and I capitulated instantly when I realised that the kids in the private school were exactly the same as the kids in the comprehensive. There was no difference at all.
But I bet you could pull a sweet little smile and look very innocent when necessary.
Well, I was wearing glasses, of course, which helps.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I was a little nerdy, specky girl. Yeah.
Right.
And you, I'm sure, weren't. I'm sure you...
Yes, I was a nerdy, specky girl, too.
This is London's...
Someone else's opinion?
It's Mr. Lister.
Good evening, Nick.
Philip.
How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Very interesting conversation, you and Lucy in school.
Can you believe that she used to be a rebel?
Oh, well, I mean, really, that would have been it was a TV series, wasn't it? Please, sir.
Yes, I vaguely remember that.
And, all the children.
She's a rebel and she'll never be any good.
Yes, that was good. The reason I rang, Nick, I've got the latest USA Today top 25 list.
The USA Today.
You remember? We've gone through TV moments. We've been through speeches. Well, last Monday they had the top 25 Eurekas of the past 25 years.
Huh. Okay, well, I bet the first one is, the Brit, what's his name, who did the, excuse me, my
invention.
T's backing up on me. Yeah, the World Wide Wait. What's his name?
The World Wide Web. Google?
No, it's just the web itself.
No.
Must be.
I've cut it down to about half, otherwise, probably be here all night. But number 25, Nick, is karaoke.
Well, you see, that renders the whole of the rest of the list silly.
Why?
Karaoke?
Yeah.
It's
number
not
25 is
what,
karaoke.
singing along to songs. That's not an invention.
Well, I suppose the machine itself, Nick, that enables you to do it. That's the way I read it.
Does the list get better?
Well, number 22 is that, I've heard of this, but I've never actually seen it in operation. TiVo, T-I-V-O.
Well, that's just a personal video recorder, like your, without mentioning any brand names, Sky Plus.
Yeah. But I suppose, it must be, but they were all listed inventions.
Well, I'll tell you what, your personal video recorder, Sky Plus, it's just, it's revolutionised television.
Number 18.
Hang on a minute.
Sorry,
to
Nick,
go
sorry.
back would be an impossibility. Like, to go back to normal TV, to record things with with an actual video recorder? Oh, I just couldn't stand it.
I've heard about it. I remember when it came out. I thought it sounded interesting, but I didn't want to get one.
Gotta get one, Philip.
Are they? Oh.
Other personal video recorders are available.
I prefer to do it myself, picnic programs and, because I was one of the first people to have a video recorder. I had one of those. Do you remember, Nick, when they first came out? They had buttons on that you had to push down.
Yes, that's right. In much the same way the old cassette machines used to, you had to actually physically push the tape head onto the tape itself,
And you could only record one program because they didn't have timers. You could record one program. You couldn't record multiple programs in an evening. So I worked it out that if I put a plug in the wall, one of these plugs with a timer.
Oh, yeah.
I could tape about 3 or 4 programs in one evening.
By switching it physically on and off?
Yeah, by using the timer on the machine. Yeah. Number 18.
Is your thing in the list there?
No, it's not.
Right.
No.
They slipped up there, didn't they?
Oh, well, yes, no, it's not, no. Number 18, Nick. Online stock trading.
Well, this isn't a eureka moment. That's just stock trading in another way. I dislike this list, Philip.
Yeah, it's not mine. It's not mine.
You're just reporting the facts, ma'am.
Well, let's go to number 9. Pay at the pumps.
What?
Yeah. Number 9 was
pay at the pumps.
Yeah, the facility to pay at the pumps.
Right, because I vaguely remember that in America you can just stick your credit card in the actual pump, can't you?
Yes.
And then probably you have to pay it beforehand. Is that right?
Yeah, as I say, I don't have a car, so I've never really, so I don't know how they work.
You don't have a car, you don't have a personal video recorder. Oh, Struth, Phillips.
No,
step into the 1980s.
I know, I will catch up one day. I haven't even got number 8. I haven't got an iPod.
No, I haven't either. I refuse. So many people tell me that they break 1 year and 1 month after you buy them. Of course, the warranty expires 1 year after you buy them.
Oh, is that a fact?
Yeah. They must have some sort of timer inside.
I have got an audio cassette player which I record programs onto, and I can get a C120, I can get an hour on each side. That makes me happy.
And people under the age of 20 are going, audio cassette? What the...
Wonderful. I used to have a reel-to-reel tape recorder. Number 6.
Memories, what memories?
DVDs.
DVDs, yes.
Number 5.
Who invented that then? Philips?
Sony. I must admit, I had to copy it off of the internet again, because I wasn't able to get a copy. And I've just written down DVDs at number 6.
Righto.
Number 5. Caller IDs.
These are very small advances, you'd have to say.
Yeah. But maybe in the last 25 years there hasn't been that, that big of things, really. 4 is debit cards. No?
I think we can come up with a better list than this. The best inventions of the last 25 years.
Yeah, number 1...
Have they got a triple mocha latte?
Oh, yeah. Number 1 and number 2 are, do you know what blackberries are, Nick? Number 3 is blackberries.
Yeah, I like a dish of blackberries in the morning.
I get the impression it's some computer thing, is it?
I pour my heart medicine on them. It's delicious with porridge.
What are they, Nick?
Blackberries, it's like a mobile phone that you can waggle your thumb at and email people.
Oh, right.
Business people have one of them. People, who actually have a working life. Not perpetual teenagers like me, who spend their entire life either sleeping or preparing to nap.
Oh, number 2, laptop.
I don't need to be contacted In fact, I rarely turn on my mobile phone. I'll turn it on every now and again. There'll be 86 messages. Can you come into work now? Message received last Wednesday.
Yes. They build up so quickly.
And number 2 was the laptop.
Yeah.
Right, well, these are more or less the same things.
Yeah, number 1.
Yeah.
Cell phones.
Give us cell phones.
Yeah. So, as I say...
fairly tech-heavy list.
Yeah, as I say, the couple that we haven't mentioned, number 10, is lettuce in a bag. I laughed when I read that.
What, lettuce in a... which they clean with, chlorine, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
That's not a good thing.
Is number 13.
I mean, that's as bad as buying vegetables that have already been peeled and chopped for you, then in a bag. I mean, all that stuff that you get in M&S.
That's right, yeah.
That's just silly. Buy proper vegetables and peel them yourself, you lazy articles.
Yeah. So, as I say, I don't know what they're going to do next Monday, Nick, what the list is, but it'll be interesting to see. Can I mention just one other thing, Nick?
No.
Oh. I was watching a video around a friend's house, and he had taped, some time ago, VH1 did the worst music videos in the world, the top 100.
Right, I know what my number 1 is.
Oh, will you tell me what your number one was?
Breaking the Law by Judas Priest. It is awful. I mean, comically laugh out loud, funnily bad.
What is it? What are they doing on the...
It's a film of people doing a bank raid.
Oh,
but
wow.
it's so comically amateurish.
Yeah.
I mean, it must have been at the very beginning of the making of videos, and they spent nothing at all on it.
Oh, wow.
And it was just...
it might have been in this list, Nick.
It's such a great song to have such a terrible film.
There was 100 of them, and as I say, I didn't see the 100. But so possibly it could have been in there. Can I just, before I mention the number 1, number 3 is my favourite. Have you heard of a guy called Bobby Conn?
Who sang?
He sang a song called Never Get Ahead.
No.
I don't know, I've never heard of him in my life. And honestly, it's the most amazing performance, dreadful, that I have ever seen. He's doing it in a studio, and it looks like it's, where the country is, it's definitely not America. And he's miming to his DVD or record, and he's not, his movements are not coinciding with the sound.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot.
Oh, have you made a video?
Usually when I'm dancing.
Number 1, the one that came at number 1 was Cliff Richard.
Oh.
Wired for Sound.
Was that when he was on roller skates?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one where he's going round the shopping centre.
Yeah, he should be wired up.
Oh, well.
No offence, Cliff.
Some of the other ones were really interesting. There was...
He would be lucky to have the same fate as the mice in New York.
Yeah.
Someone should think about it.
He actually had 2 in. I can't remember what the other one was, but I saw him singing another song.
Well, you keep your eyes peeled and your ear on the road and your eyes peeled and looking straight ahead, or something along those lines. All right.
Okay, Nick.
Thanks a lot, Philip. Always got a list. He is Mr. Lister.
He sure is. The worst video I've ever seen is that Bonnie Tyler one, Total Eclipse of the Heart.
That's not a bad video.
Yeah, it is. Where her eyes go all spooky.
Spooky?
Yeah. At the end, and there's like little choir boys all around, and it's really weird.
It's the same chap who did the Duran Duran video. It's not a bad video, it's extremely expensive and well done.
Do you think?
Yeah, no, we mean...
the story is ridiculous, there isn't...
What story? It's a pop song.
Yeah, but she's kind of in love with the boy almost, who's like an angel at the end, isn't he?
I don't know, what's wrong with that?
His eyes go kind of like white, and it's almost... It's just pointless. It doesn't do anything. But there's like this great, theatrical stuff going on. For what?
Well, well, you remembered it.
Yeah, but it doesn't even tie in with it, does it?
You rushed out and bought the record.
No, it's
add it to your list of...
Of what?
God.
You're about to be abusive about my song choices now, aren't you?
I can't even begin to imagine how awful your record collection is.
Thanks. But would you assume most girls' record collections are rubbish? Or just mine?
Well, that would be too outrageously sexist a thing to say, wouldn't
Why
it?
is mine going to be so rubbish then? That's even worse. And you know me. It's very eclectic, my taste.
By that, do you mean bad?
No, it's wide-ranging. Very wide-ranging.
Right. Well, I'll take that to mean bad.
Thanks.
You've got everything from, Dido.
No Dido, not one.
Every single Dido record she's ever made, and the Lighthouse Family.
Not one Lighthouse Family, I can't stand them.
Simply Red.
No, none of that.
You've got, no end of Enya.
Oh, no, I haven't got Enya. That's good, you haven't guessed any of them so far. And you have named quite a few crap ones.
Well, it's bound to be awful. Tell me who you like.
Oh, well, I don't know, really. A bit of everyone. I really like Prince. I like The Cure.
The Cure?
Yeah.
Is that guy still dressing like that, by the way?
Yeah, I think
with the
so.
scarecrow hair and the makeup.
yeah.
Now, see, that looked good when he was 20.
Yeah, I used to dress
Looks
like
really bad now he's 50. I mean, nobody should be dressing like that when they grow up. Do you know what I mean? I mean, David Bowie looks normal now. Normal-ish.
Yeah.
Still looks like a rock star, but he looks normal-ish. Well, sometimes he looks like a businessman, doesn't he?
Yeah.
A businessman in a bad suit. But, and Robert Smith of The Cure is still looking like that. Somebody should tell him. I mean, really. I mean, he used to have makeup that sort of drips down his face. Now he's applied it perfectly. It's just his face is dripping.
No, I think it looks more and more clumsy as it goes on. It's a bit kind of smudgy eye.
Yeah.
It's like he's had a punch in the face with it.
But it's following the contours of his face now. It's not smudged. That's actually what his face looks like.
Oh, really? Horrible. Horrible. Anyway, so...
The Cure.
Yeah, well...
Right, well, that's 20 years old.
Yeah, that's old, isn't it? Okay, what do I like now?
So's Prince, by the way.
Yeah.
No one's interested in Prince anymore.
No,
I mean,
no.
people will go and see his concert, and the reason that he's giving away his new album with your concert ticket is that nobody would go out and buy it. So he's giving them away.
Well, I don't really listen to enough modern music now, I suppose. I like Amy Winehouse. Except, do you know what? I listened to some of her lyrics the other day, and I was singing on completely different words. I didn't realise how rude some of the lyrics were.
Amy Winehouse and Robert Smith, do they have the same stylist? They certainly have the same makeup artist.
A full head of hair.
Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
Can you read maps, Alex?
Sorry?
Can you read maps?
Oh yeah, I love maps.
Buzzy back.
That's one thing I found out I have in common with Karen McGiffin.
What?
She loves maps.
What? She loves maps?
Yeah, she loves maps. I just sound like I'm repeating myself, don't I?
As a way to find the nearest pub, you mean? Booze.
Yeah, she's got all the shortest routes marked out in red.
Carol McGiffin likes maps. What does that mean?
She just likes looking at maps. You know, like A to Z maps and things like that.
She likes looking at them?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
What, for fun?
I can't remember, yeah. You know, for pleasure.
Is it when she's planning holidays? Is that
No, I think she just likes looking at, map books and... Because I like maps and kind of satellite imaging books and things like that.
Well, we know what to get you for your birthday then, don't we? It's just a shame we don't know when it is.
I know, I bet you're really disappointed.
She likes looking at maps. What, so she'll open a map and then clap her hands together and say...
Right, so what we doing?
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Ask her next time you see.
I certainly will not.
Read any good maps recently, Carol?
You freak. She likes looking at maps. Well, I don't understand that concept. But just without actually needing to know how to get anywhere, she just looks at maps. What kind of a weirdo does that?
Sat-nav must be very exciting then.
Well, the sat-nav is
to
great
life.
because it's TV in your car.
Yeah.
Who needs to look at the road when you've got a television showing you more or less the direction the road's going?
Do you have sat-nav?
Well, I bought one of those things that you stick on the window that then falls off into your lap and then you crash into something while you're trying to retrieve it.
Where you turn left onto a railway line.
Yeah.
And wonder why it's
thought-
got bumpy all of a sudden.
I'd have thought you'd have wanted to have just an A to Z. I wouldn't have thought that would be the sort of gadget you'd want.
Oh, God, are you joking? I never read maps, ever.
Well, no, not for fun, but...
Well, no, not ever. If I'm lost, I'll just continue to drive.
randomly. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll see if I get there.
It does work eventually.
I'm relying on my excellent sense of direction.
Oh, no.
And just drive wildly until I recognise something.
See a sign that looks vaguely familiar. I know that's a village only 8 away.
I know, ever more frustrated and ever quicker.
With the fuel running down
Yes,
and down.
I could be going in completely the wrong direction, but at least I'll be getting there quickly. I never read maps. Who can read maps?
Well, I am a classic turn the page as I go. Turn it round so that I can get the
Upside
right
down.
angle. Yeah.
Sexual orientation and gender affects navigation skills, according to this new survey. With straight men best at map reading and heterosexual women worst, according to research published yesterday. What do you mean you turn the map around?
Well, because if it's facing the wrong way for me,
Right.
I need to visualise where I am as the car on the road.
You need to know which is left and right without doing it back to front, because then you'll get confused. Is it
Yeah.
left, or do I mean right? Like that.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I need to know that if the next left turning, have I got it the right way round? Because if the road's going that way and I'm... Oh, it's all terrible.
Researchers at the University of Warwick considered how we perform mental tasks akin to navigating with a map in a car in light of sexual preferences, with straight men performing better than gay men, who in turn performed better than lesbians, who in turn did better than straight women. Lesbians did better than straight women.
And how does that work?
I've no idea. The survey published in the Archives of Sexual Behaviour also found old age slows men's minds more so than in women. So, straight men did better than gay men, who did better than lesbians, who did better than straight women. Which answers the question why the offices here are always so empty. No one can find their way back. Here is Catford. Hello, Trixie.
Oh, you've got me again. You've changed subjects so many times. I'm prepared to talk about anything.
What have we talked about so far, Luby Lou?
You've been talking about mice?
Yeah, I've got the list here.
Go ahead.
Okay, started off with Trafalgar Square.
Have you been making notes?
No, it's in my mind. Trafalgar Square and grass, they only had a small area of grass, apparently.
What, it didn't fill the whole square?
No, it didn't.
Really?
Apparently not. I did not see it. But they had that's why the shots of Trafalgar Square were done at certain angles.
Yes, all the same angle. That's right.
And that's probably why the area was cordoned off.
Huh. So only top people were allowed to walk on the grass.
I would imagine so. Yes, I didn't see it, and I'm glad I didn't make the effort to go up there.
Well, I almost did, but then I thought, oh, can't be bothered. I've seen grass, and I've seen Trafalgar Square. I'll just imagine them in my mind.
Trafalgar Square is so much better since they pedestrianised the whole
It's absolutely brilliant. Yes.
It's brilliant because I remember going up to Trafalgar Square on New Year's Eve a couple of times way back in the 70s. Oh boy, it was so difficult to get to.
Oh, it was hideous. Yeah. No, it's amazing that they waited so long to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's done. You can't imagine it any other way.
No. But your stories of your coat and the large collars, that took me back a little bit. Yes, to school. Oh God, I hated school. I'm not mentioning the school because I'm from Swansea, and if I mention the name of the school will just become obvious if I mention it, so I won't say anything. But it was awful. And I would never go there again. It was a comprehensive...
Well, you don't have to, Trixie.
Oh.
That's the great part of growing up.
Yeah,
you need never go there again.
You never have to go there again. The problem is I will always know my way there. That's one map direction I would like to not to actually know. But women remember the way to a place by seeing landmarks, don't they? For example, if I'm driving...
What, like birds?
Hmm?
Like
birds, yes.
pigeons?
I mean, I drive along the South Circular, I see, oh, there's a pub there.
Huh.
Oh, I recognise that pub. Oh, right, okay. So I'll know a route by its pubs, for example. or by...
This is why, like I said, this is why Carol is so interested in maps.
Yes, of course. Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. I hadn't thought about that. Was that Jeffrey just now? Just before me? On the phone? Was he on the phone just now, or was that my imagination?
Jeffrey.
Jethro.
Oh, no.
Oh, it wasn't, so it sounded
yet,
a bit
no.
like his voice. Okay. No, it's just as he always seems to be just before or just after me when I call. Anyway, I'm delighted you're on next week. Absolutely delighted.
Yeah, I'm going to be on all between 4 and half 6, except for Monday, which I think is 4.
Do you want calls through?
Huh?
Do you want people to telephone you?
Yes, I'll need a lot of assistance.
Right,
and
okay.
on the following week, I'm going to be... You're going to be off that week, aren't you, Luz?
I'm off from next Saturday. Yeah.
That's
Right,
nice.
okay.
Well, don't worry about me. I'll just be here and do it on my own then, shall I?
Well, no, I'll
right.
call in. You take my number, call me back, and I'll do the show remotely with you.
Righto.
Well, you know, it's the thought that counts.
Yes. Thanks for
Anyway.
thinking, Trixie.
Oh, bye.
All right, cheers. Oh, she's gone. I felt that there was more. Is there more? No, she's gone. Yeah, but the following week, like next week I'm in afternoons, and the following week I'm doing 2 shows a day for 6 days running.
Here?
I'm going to be out. No, I do,
No,
and
one
it's
somewhere
and it's the worst possible schedule as well. Earlies,
You hate earlies, don't you?
somewhere else, which will involve doing the rush hour. It's like 9 o'clock start.
9?
Yeah.
Oh, hideous o'clock.
Finishing here at 1 in the morning. Oh.
You're going to have a little bit of daytime kipping, aren't you?
I'm going to be unconscious.
I'm glad I'm away. But I am actually making sure that I'm back the following Saturday.
Oh.
So I fly in on the 9th and I'm going to come back into
Well, I'd like to take that you really would miss doing the show with me, but actually it's all about that if you don't show up, you don't get paid. And you have to pay back some of that giant amount of money that you're going to be spending on your lovely holiday in Spain.
Well, no, it's not really that. I don't want to give up more days' holiday if I don't need to.
Right, see, that's exactly what I just said, yeah.
Well...
But the way you said it was that you're doing me
Well, I do like coming
personal
back
favour.
to do the show.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Take your sulky tones with me.
Right.
Right, do you want the list?
Oh, what we've talked
yeah.
about so
Yeah.
far. It can't be very long.
Actually, it hasn't grown hugely, even though we have gone off kilter a little bit.
Well, it started with a man with insects living in his head.
Mm-hmm. The mites.
And then went rapidly downhill from then.
The mice led to your brain, for the brain teaser.
Which we still haven't come up with, but then we decided we didn't want to.
The brain led to the power of positive thought, which then led on to bees. And then we went to London's parks, and school.
Is that
So
it?
there you go. That's pretty much it.
Well,
I've missed out the grass, actually.
Huge amounts out.
Yeah, but, you know, if we include everything, then I'll just be writing constantly.
Panorama did, got in the news again this week. They were going on about sell-by dates.
Oh,
Did you see
yeah.
that?
No.
2 top supermarkets risking customers' health by purposely selling out-of-date food, a probe has revealed. Undercover BBC investigators filmed workers at both the supermarket giants' stores switching sell-by dates on food to keep it on the shelves longer.
Oh.
Are you the kind of person that takes what's at the front of the shelf, or do you root around in the back for something with an extra, with a longer date on it?
Well, we've talked about this before, because
Have
I
we?
know you always root around for
Yeah.
the milk that'll last the
Always.
longest. But now you've got me having a little check now every now and again.
Because they always put the ones that are about to expire earlier at the
Yeah.
front, obviously, because they want to get rid of those.
Yeah.
But I circumvent that. Ha-ha. Charade they are. And root around at the back, thereby ruining their lovely display of whatever it is. But I don't care, because I just, well, you know...
You're the consumer.
Well,
you're
I
there
hate
to
to
have
sound
what you want.
selfish, but it's me. 2 reporters worked for 6 months at stores in Didcot, Oxon and Woodford Green in East London. Both witnessed examples of best before dates being changed. Steaks past their use-by date were minced and illegally sold as fresh meat the next day.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, dear.
A reporter was told to trim the worst bits off cold meat and sell them after their best before date. So if they got mould on them, oh, you just cut that bit off. That's awful, isn't it? This was on the BBC. Disturbing scenes that break health and safety rules, including rats in a food warehouse. You've got rats in the warehouse. What am he going to do? Staff defrosting and then refreezing fish, and a worker using a knife sharpener to open a drain. And a worker opens ready-to-eat prawns and then adds 3 days to the best before date. And you've got to think, if they're just uncovering a few things like this, having just...
What else is left?
Oh, well, it just must be going on all the time.
The only thing is with this is that a lot of food, they do slap on an out-of-date sign much too early, don't they? Wasn't that the story a while back? And that actually our food has a much longer shelf life than we're led to believe, and so we all keep chucking it away, so that we keep going back to buy more.
Yeah, well, there's three things, isn't there? There's the best before, there's the use by, and there's something else.
Sell by.
Yeah.
Sell by, then use by, is what we pick up.
And then the best before, I don't know
And
what
then the
that
best before is written on the side of the packet that
just a
says,
vague-
once you've opened this, you must consume it within 24 hours, 2 days, or whatever.
Yeah, but the things that usually say you must consume this within 24 hours are usually like a giant bottle of mayonnaise or something that no one in their right minds could consume that quickly. Why do they always sell you things that you can't eat quick enough?
I know, who is eating all this mountains of yoghurt or whatever?
The supermarkets said this programme paints a deeply false picture of our business, and the BBC said...
Tommy, you stop now! No, listen to me! You were not there at the beginning of that interview!
Do you ever need to get back to it?
Men have become too concerned about political correctness to give a compliment to the opposite sex, according to a survey. When was the last time you complimented a personage of the opposite sex, Alex?
I think probably Lucy yesterday.
Oh, really?
And I was saying she was looking a bit tired. She liked that one.
Not so much a compliment, really.
And what was worse is I just had a facial as well, and I said, "Oh, I feel really pleased. I've had a facial. I haven't had a facial for years and years." And he said, "Oh, I thought you were looking really unwell." I was like, "Brilliant, thanks." Won't do that again.
A facial?
Yeah, I did. I had an express facial for 30 minutes. Yeah, I thought I'd treat myself.
Well, you want to, but the next time you want to go for the full 3 hours.
Yeah, thanks.
You need all the help you can get.
No, but the whole thing is, which is so awful, is once you've had a facial, you're not supposed to put any makeup on for a while. So I literally left the salon looking really frightening, and all I wanted to do was go home and slap loads of makeup on, but I couldn't. And they said, no, you've got to give it a good 5 hours.
What, let your face breathe?
Apparently, yeah. But they put all that, like, moisturiser on, so I felt like I just had this sticky face. It's horrible. So, yeah.
Well, that's the thing that's why I won't get one of those facials, is because you'd have to go home without any makeup on. I just...
You couldn't possibly do that.
Couldn't face that, no.
Not without your lippy. Can I just go back to the out-of-date food a second?
Go on, then.
I've got some noodles in my cupboard.
Noodles?
Yeah. And I've had them for a while, but noodles are completely dry. It says that the date's about to go off, but I cannot see how they will go off, if that makes sense.
Are you disputing the date on the packet?
Well, I'm sure that... I can't understand how they come up with this date, how... Well, say, if I ate them 3 months down the line, would they seriously be off? Would I be risking my health if I cooked them up?
Well, do it, and then tell us how you feel the next day.
Yeah, okay.
As an experiment. Of course not. You're going to boil them, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So
mind you, they have that. They do have that. The look on your face.
Well, I'm only thinking because it's eggs, isn't it? Noodles are eggs, and I don't know if it suddenly then goes a bit...
You might get the noodle fever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't want noodle fever.
No, I wouldn't think so. Neither spaghetti or any of that stuff that you boil. If you boil it, it's got to be all right, right? I mean, you'll kill anything that's in it, innit?
Yeah. And if
so
you've
go
got...
ahead and knock yourself out. Have a noodle party. Invite your friends.
And do you think it would be bad for me that the other day when I went round to Mum's...
Without your makeup on?
Well, I did have my makeup on then, but I really hadn't had any breakfast and I was starving, and I said, "Oh, I want some toast." And she said, "Have a look and see if there's any in the bread bin." And I had a look, and it was a bit mouldy. And I said, "Oh, your bread's a bit mouldy." And she went, "Well, yes, I'm going away." And I said, "Well, Oh, I can't really eat it then. She said, oh, it's fine, just chop off the mouldy bits and stick it in the toaster.
Well, see, that's what they used to say in the old days, before they realised that there are things like...
Well, I'm still here. I had 2 bits. But they did have quite a bit of mould on, so I ended up with, like, a tiny bit of bread left after I'd cut all
Well, they
the
didn't used to throw things away in the old days, did they? They used to have to, you know, make do.
Yeah.
And there didn't used to be an enormous amount of food around. I mean, you know, for years after the war ended, people were surviving on an egg and a piece of banana skin.
Right.
A tiny sliver of butter and 1 loaf per week.
But I think most of us now would chuck away our bread, wouldn't we, if we saw any mould on it?
Yeah, because we know that we've got 6 other loaves in the freezer.
Or you can just go and buy some for like 20p at knockdown prices. I do like getting a little
20p?
bargain bit of bread. Oh yeah, my local supermarket's great. If you go in the evening when they're doing all the cut-downs.
Oh, right. But then you have to
great.
fight with the old age pensioners for the
People
discounts.
do get a little bit feisty about around
well,
that
they
bit.
start to
I walk
circle
away then.
like vultures.
I can't bother with
Around
that.
about 6 o'clock in the evening, just before they're about to put those half-price stickers on,
Yeah, they lurk by the men
Yeah.
with the stickers.
following them around like seagulls.
Yeah. I want that steak.
So that was the last compliment that you had, that you looked tired and puffy.
Yeah.
Well, that's awful. Why did you come out with that? I mean, that's just what a terrible thing to say.
Well, I usually compliment you if you're looking nice, though, don't I?
Yeah.
Right.
You do, but I don't tend to use
Which
the
is
negative.
which is to say, never.
Well, I like winding her up sometimes.
It's nice, isn't it? I'm glad
It's
I'm
quite
everyone's
easily
punch bag.
Well, apparently we've become too concerned about political correctness to give a compliment to the opposite sex, according to a survey. Their concerns are backed by 65% of women who suspect there is nothing innocent behind a flattering remark from a work colleague or new acquaintance. So it's completely innocent if somebody says you look terrible. You can take that as just a statement of fact, and there is nothing behind that statement at all.
That's great.
While 89% of women loved to receive a compliment, 67% felt uncomfortable if it came from anybody other than their partner.
Well, it can be a bit embarrassing. Because, you know, it's difficult to know what to say when someone pays you a compliment. I sort of say, oh, thanks, and try and move on quickly.
Yeah, yes. Well, it's the same with people who like your show. I mean, I can deal with people who hate me. But when the people say, yeah, they like it, then I don't really know what to say.
Oh, good. Great. Thanks.
Sadly, 12% said no one had paid them a compliment in the last 3 months.
What percentage?
12.
That's a big percentage.
Is it?
I think that's a big percentage of people never to be given a compliment.
Well, when the hell did anybody compliment me about anything?
You're looking lovely tonight.
Shut up. Like, ever. But
Get compliments. What about all the callers that we get?
Oh, yeah, but they don't count. They're callers. No, I mean...
I only gave them a £5 each.
In real life.
This is real life.
But only women attract a compliment. I mean, no man would say, oh, that's a really nice pair of slacks you're wearing. Would they?
Would they not?
No, certainly not, no.
I really like giving women compliments, though. I mean, and not in trying to get into their pants type way. Like, I'll see women in the street, like, and they've obviously made a really big effort with their outfit. And like, sometimes I want to say, wow, that like, you know, you look really good. Right. But I'm not thinking, whoa.
And
well,
he's only got 20 control orders on him.
I would find that super weird if someone came up to me in the street.
I've never done it.
And said, by the way, I'd be like, what?
A relationship expert said, while it may seem somewhat frivolous, a compliment is in fact a vital ingredient for well-being, which is why I'm ill all the time.
See, if I just told you how fantastic you looked every hour...
Shut up. The trick, though, is to be able to pay someone a compliment and make them feel good about themselves, rather than coming over as smarmy, or worse, a bit lecherous. Lucy, you are looking particularly average today.
Don't touch me, or I'll kill you! Oh, I saw that guy off the...
Everything is going extremely well.
Low auction running at the moment for a fabulous prize, which I will describe in words now. We're giving away a brilliant 42-inch plasma TV every day. In our How Low reverse auction competition, we're giving you one last chance to win one this weekend. Or, no, that we've given away. We have given away. Past tense. I haven't even started yet, and already I've got it wrong. And it's all your fault, Lucy.
I'm always to blame.
But there's also another reason to get bidding now, as if you need one, it says here, in brackets, with an exclamation mark. Because we're also adding a Samsung DVD player as a bonus prize, designed for action-packed viewing. This massive plasma TV and DVD player will transform your living room, even yours. Just take a gander around the squalor that is your own home. It would look double fantastic with one of these parked in the corner.
It is not squalor.
You wouldn't let your husband have one, would you? You'd say, nope, that's going straight back.
He's not having one. He's tried for months to have one.
Well, how big's the TV you got now?
Well, normal TV size.
Well, how big's...
Oh.
How's that? How big is that, you'd say, Alex?
We're looking at 10 inches.
That's a very small TV.
What's that, 28?
Well, it's just tiny.
Well, it's not that tiny. Well, that's plenty, isn't it? I think that's absolutely plenty. The thing is, I can't stand these rooms where the whole room is taken over by the TV.
Right, this is obviously an argument that you've had frequently.
Yeah.
And he's going, but this...
Bit like that, yeah. Apparently, I can't see the fact that it's really sexy to have one of these TVs.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm clearly lacking somewhere.
And it's flat, so it'll go on your wall.
No way. That's the trouble. I've got lovely pictures up.
We'll take one. What, pictures of what?
I've got some lovely Japanese
cats
art.
And
I do not have any cats up.
Have you got the one with the dogs playing cards? No. Or a clown's face with a little tear coming down it? No?
I don't have any of those tacky posters. They're proper pictures.
Of Japanese what?
It's proper Japanese artwork.
Really? That does sound lovely.
Boring! Well, it's not boring. My husband bought me 2 of the Japanese ones I've got, and then I've got a modern Japanese watercolour as well.
Right, what's this Japanese thing going on over your place?
I quite like a lot of Japanese art.
Have you feng shui'd the place up?
No. No, I don't do that.
Right.
No, it's just...
So does the Japanese art kind of jar with all the rest of with everything else that you've got in there?
No, we've got a picture of Edinburgh up on one of our walls.
A picture of Edinburgh?
Yeah, that's where my husband is from. Well, his family are from, and that's where he proposed to me.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's
and
nice,
what did you say?
I cried. Oh, it's so exciting. Yeah, I was a little bit embarrassed too because there was a whole room full of people in there. Anyway, I'm distracting you.
A room full of people where?
In the restaurant.
Oh right, you did it in a restaurant.
I was quite upset because I was wearing trainers and not much makeup again. So frankly, I looked like the back end of a bus.
So, despite the fact that you look puffy and tired.
He still went through with the question. It was the only way to surprise me, apparently, otherwise I was determined to ruin it. Anyway.
So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the crappy pictures on your wall. So you got a picture of Edinburgh. Like, which bit?
Looking up at the castle.
Right.
Yeah.
So some tourist tap from Edinburgh, some really dull, boring old Japanese prints, where you could have the whole world in high def and colour.
That's what he'd like, yeah.
Is it high def?
Yes, it is. It's it's high def prepared, isn't it?
I don't know, it doesn't say here.
I believe...
HD ready.
HD ready, that's what I mean, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, that's right, HD ready. Yeah. Oh, well, you see, this is absolutely what you want. Instead of some boring... I mean, when was the last time you actually stood up and studied those Japanese prints?
I look at them all the time.
See?
Yeah, one of them.
Are they
just
mostly
above the
grey? Yes.
No, they're not, actually. Not mostly grey.
Mostly grey, with tiny little microscopic figures on a little bridge.
No, no, no.
It's not the one with the big wave, is it?
No, it's not like what...
They sound so lovely, Luz.
Boring!
You
We must come over.
You could be sticking a high-def, colourful thing on your wall that will bring the world into your home. Instead, you've got some boring old tap from Japan and a picture of the back end of Edinburgh.
I wouldn't object to this. I think it sounds fabulous, but I'm not prepared to spend the money, so, you know.
You could win it.
I can't.
Right. We're not eligible to enter.
I shouldn't think so.
Well, neither is your husband, probably, because he's...
Related,
right.
Well, kind of.
So, the field is open for the nice ladies and gentlemen that are... because we can't... we're not going to win it.
No.
Somebody will. This massive plasma TV and DVD player will transform the squalor of your own lounge. You'll be able to watch all your favourite movies. It'll be like seeing them in the cinema all over again, and it is, too. Once you see your films that you've seen before, you see it in HD, it's like, just with your mouth open, you're thinking, yowza. The person with the lowest unique bid, see, this is why I like this sort of thing. It's not people competing to see how, how much they can spend on it. So this would be, I don't know, I mean, you could say, I'll give you £3,000, and then somebody with more money said, well, I want it for £4,000. It's not like that at all, it's the other way around. The person with the lowest unique bid, when the competition ends, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, will win. That's the lowest bid in pence that nobody else makes. So, it's a cutting-edge plasma TV, all the latest bits stuck in its slim form, fast motion-enhancing technologies, whatever that is. It's HD ready with a built-in Freeview. It has a minimalist look, a black glossy surround. Ooh. And a dual DVD and VHS playback means that you can make the most of your VHS collection too, and everybody under the 20 is saying a VH what? To bid, you need a mobile phone, text, LBC, plus, or you could get one of those Amstrad things that nobody bought from Sir Alan Sugar, from that stupid You're Fired game. You still watching that?
Yes, of course. I love it.
Is that really irritating woman with the horsey face? Has she gone yet?
Katie's still in it, yeah.
They only leave her in just because she's irritating everybody, and it's the same reason that they leave, that they make it so that people vote for the dull ones to leave the big brava house, and they leave the irritating ones in there because people like shouting at the TV.
But she wasn't really in the firing line this week, because her team won, so she couldn't be fired even if...
And what was the thing this week? Why do you waste your life watching that tribe?
It was some kind of business thing that they had to...
See? That's as interesting as it was.
Yeah.
Some kind of business thing.
I can't remember at all now. Actually, I didn't think it was the best one this week, to be honest.
Text your bid in pence to LBC, and then your bid in P. For instance, if it was 97p, it would be LBC 97 to 88821. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you want, if your bid's 97p, you text LBC 97 to 88821. Lines closed, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Bidders must be over 16. Bids cost £1.50 plus your standard network. Wait. Rate. See www.lbc.co.uk for full terms and conditions. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Here is Aid from Burton-on-Trent.
Hello, Nick.
Aid, I am all right, mate.
Yeah, well, for start off, we should say happy birthday to Lucy, shouldn't we?
What?
It's Lucy's birthday today.
Is it?
It's gone into MySpace.
You're joking. It's your birthday today?
Yeah.
You kept that quiet?
I know.
I had no idea. Oh, if I'd known, I wouldn't have got you something.
So you've saved yourself nothing.
Is it your birthday today? Lucy! Yeah. What'd you get her, Alex?
Got me a card.
Did you?
He just gave it to me.
Well, how come I don't know this?
I did mention it last week.
Did you?
Don't pay attention.
Just as we were going home, I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a vague memory of that.
Yeah. It's okay, I'm not precious about my birthday.
What?
I mean, I might cry a little when I go home tonight that you forgot.
Not precious about it to the point that... See, this is what...
That's why I had a facial, see?
This is why women are evil.
What? Women are... I'm evil now. On my birthday. Careful.
Because you mentioned this last, and I only have a vague memory, and only because you said that you mentioned it do I remember vaguely that you mentioned it. And it was so in passing. It was like, oh, it's, you know, and, oh, no, by the way, it's like, oh, don't worry about it. No male on the planet would remember something like that from one week to the next. But you told me, therefore, I am now the worst person on the face of the planet, because despite being told that it was your birthday, I still forgot.
Yeah, guilty as charged.
Yes, exactly.
Unlike when it comes to your birthday, you'll mention it like 3
over and over and over again, yes. Because that would be the right thing to do. So as you don't have to make a mistake like I just did.
Anyway, Nick, you're gonna love what I'm gonna tell you now. On Wednesday, I had a bit of a disaster happen to me.
A boo-boo?
Yeah, I got, like, well, it ain't creosote, but it's called, like, fence guard or whatever. I got some of that from the local town, put it in my boot, and got out when one of them had, actually wasn't sealed, and the entire contents spilled in the back.
Did you open it? What? How could it spill? How could it be unsealed?
I don't know, it still looked sealed, but, like, it was a 5-litre tub, and the entire thing was, like, all over the carpet in the boot, all over the wheel and the tools.
Well, at least if it rains in your boot, you're set.
But, I mean, I was like, congratulate me two of my friends that had helped me out with this. It took us, like, 3 hours to get it out. Luckily, it's water-based.
How did you get it out?
A lot of, spudged it up, and then, like, well, I was going to say a product name, and a washing up liquid product, a carpet cleaning product, and just, like, hard labour, really.
Washing up liquid. Was it fairy?
Oh, yeah.
Persil?
No fairy.
Right, that's... how can you get a 5-litre tin of creosote? I mean, that's... You need to lever the lids off that stuff.
No, this is just like a plasticky, rubbishy type sort of thing.
And this isn't any old car, Alex. Not like that giant pile of car that we drove in. This is a top person's convertible sports car. This is.
So what am I doing driving it?
Exactly. Cleans toilets for a living. We could only dream of owning such a car, Alex.
Yeah, but all these extra shifts you've been doing now, you'll be able to, like, have a Lamborghini.
No, I'll be able to pay off some of my credit card bills. Oh, I had a run-in about credit card bills this week.
Oh, lovely.
And a run-in with any financial institution, that's your day over. I mean, you might as well just go back to bed. You're not going to get anything else achieved. Anyway, I'll get into that in a minute. So, it all worked out fine in the end, eh?
Yeah, I mean, you had any disasters with your car at all?
What, apart from buying it in the first place?
Yeah, you must like it. So how long have you had the car now?
Well, I've kept it, not because I like it, just because who can afford to buy a car?
I remember a time there when you said you couldn't afford anything else, you could hardly afford the bus fare, but now you have progressed to a car, so you're getting better as you go along.
Yes, now I can't afford the bus fare because I've got this car to keep, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do next week, by the way, because when you drive in during the day, this building is only just in the congestion charge area, isn't it? I mean, there's about 2 inches behind the building, and then the congestion charge doesn't apply. But only on this this is the first road of the congestion charge. How annoying is that? I mean, I don't even... It's not even hardly London, is it?
You're going to be working for free, virtually.
What?
But you're going to be working for free by the time you've paid that.
Well, yes, exactly.
Like Gordon
Are you going to drive in?
How else do you get here? There's no public transport. There's anywhere near here. Might as well be on the moon.
In the daytime?
Yeah.
In the week?
Yeah.
We'll get the tube.
To where?
To Latimer Road.
Where's that?
Literally across the road.
Is
There's
it?
literally a tube station across the road from here.
You're kidding.
Now, come on, you did know that.
I did not know that.
It's on the Hammersmith and City line, so
Yeah.
it almost, might as well not be on the tube.
The Hammersmith and City line?
Yeah.
Where's that?
It's dreadful.
It's literally across the road and it's over there.
Well, what does the Hammersmith and City line do?
It's the pink line, and it goes
usually.
to King's Cross.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to
From Hammersmith to
drive.
King's. Why? Because you'd rather pay more money to drive in.
Well, I've got this this executive machine here.
Yeah.
I can't just wander around carrying willy-nilly on pubic transport. That would be asking for it.
Well, it's quite little though.
Well, exactly.
So can't you just put it in a bag? No one will realise. Put it in a little placky bag, and they'll be like, "Oh, look, he's just got his
I'm
groceries."
not coming by tube. I'm not.
Why?
You still end up getting bugged and like beaten to the ground.
Exactly.
Well, okay. So in addition to paying,
I mean,
the
this isn't the
congestion
nicest
charge-
area, is it?
No, but you are now going to have to pay for your parking as well, unless you
No,
can
I'll
get into
stick
the
it
car
in the
park.
car park.
Oh, you're a special one, aren't you? You can get in there.
Well, Paul Ross presumably doesn't come on public transport, does he?
He does sometimes. Yeah.
Rubbish.
He does. I've seen him on the tube.
Nonsense. Paul
He
Ross.
does,
Paul
I've
Ross
seen
does
him on
not
the
travel the.
tube.
I've never heard the like.
He probably gets shown for it.
No one famous travels the tube.
Honestly, I've seen him on the tube.
Rubbish.
I'm not joking.
Well, he must. Well, that must just his car was in the shop, or something like
Well, I
that.
didn't ask him. He didn't seem to be making a big whoopee of it. He was just sitting there catching a train.
Right.
Could have been a lookalike.
Yeah. Did you think of that?
Who'd left the building like 1 minute ahead of me?
Right. Well, that just doesn't seem like a nice way to start the day.
I don't know. I didn't promise it would be nice, but it would be cheaper.
No,
All right.
I'm going to take you like. You're probably not going to get start out 2 hours before you get there.
See, I mean, I do the tube to the other place, but that's Leicester Square. So that's central. That is. Here, this is
Zone 1 or 2?
it's like the middle of the jungle. This is.
Not far from Notting Hill.
Exactly.
Oh, it's nice around there.
I'll have to fish out my gun aid.
I could lend you one if you want.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll chauffeur you in if you want.
All right, it's a deal. As long as you can get the smell out of your car.
It didn't smell actually either. That was lucky, but yeah.
Mind you, I like the smell of creosote in the morning.
I don't think. Well, just as a matter of fact, I don't think you can buy actual creosote products anymore, can you?
Why not?
I don't think because it's very. It hurts if you get it on you for a start, don't it? It burns you.
I've got.
Outward it, and it just has to be like creosote-like.
The great taste of creosote light. Oh, well, anyway, I'll investigate further. All right. Thanks a lot, Aid.
All right.
Cheers, mate. Ta-da.
All right.
There's nothing I like more than a nice, long, cool glass of creosote light. This is LBC.
Your sofa fits you and...
No time for the old in and out, love. I've just come to read the meter.
Does it seem like I haven't actually shown up today? Like, mentally, I don't really feel like I'm here. Does it sound that way?
No, where do you feel like you are?
Well, I'm in bed.
Oh.
Asleep.
Well, that's nice. Well, I'm glad you haven't come in your pyjamas and your slippers.
Well, these are my pyjamas. This is what I shuffle about the house in all the time.
Are you serious?
Yeah, these are my
your slobby clothes.
This is my romper suit. I don't get dressed to come here. I just leave in whatever I'm in.
You like to be in a relaxed state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
I mean, unlike
Maybe
you.
one night you could dress up when you come in.
Yeah, I'll definitely do
See
that.
if it
yeah.
makes a difference.
Sure. Romford, hello, Lily.
Hello.
Lily,
Hello.
how are you?
Tired.
Tired?
Yeah. Now, all of this phoning, oh no, not phoning, trying to get things that you're giving away for next to nothing.
Yeah.
All I've got is a BT phone. You can't put a
Oh.
hello on that, can you?
No, you can't, Lily. We are discriminating against you, specifically.
Drat. There should be a law against that.
There should be, yeah, you're absolutely right. We discussed me.
Well, in that case then, I'll have to find somebody that's got all the components that are necessary.
Yeah, that's right.
And ask them to do it for me.
Hook up with someone who's got a mobile phone, and they can do it for you.
That's all it needs, is it? A mobile
Yeah,
phone?
that's right, yeah. There's always a workaround. We were discriminating against you specifically, but you can get around that.
Right. Well, I'll have a word with somebody tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a go and see how little I can get innocent for.
Wouldn't that be great?
It would. It'd be lovely.
Free is my favourite.
Pardon?
Free
It's almost free.
is my favourite.
Yeah. Anyway, bless you.
Thanks, Lily. What a nice lady. And we're discriminating again. I can't even say it. Here is, Kensington. Oh, Joanne.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Joanne.
I forgot to wish Lucy a happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Luce. If only I'd known.
I know. Is it today or was it yesterday? Is it
No one cares.
Oh, yes, we do. It's lovely. She reads the news and...
Do you?
No, I don't.
No,
That's
you're thinking
another
of somebody
Lucy.
else. Yeah, that's lovely, Lucy.
Lucy Coward?
Yeah, we
Lucy Coward, that is.
we
Isn't that you, Lucy?
we
No,
delineate the two Lucies in the build. There's lovely Lucy and there's Lucy.
Old bag face, puffy face Lucy.
Well,
that's
I didn't
me.
want to say anything, but
Yeah.
anyway, is it today or yesterday?
It's today. It started at midnight. Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank
Lucy.
you.
Anyhow, I just wanted to say that... Hello?
Yes.
Paul Ross, there's a trail that Paul Ross does about getting on the tube,
Yeah.
and he was mistaken one day for Michael Grant.
Oh yeah, I just heard that. Yes.
So he does travel on the tube then.
Well, we only have his word for that.
Oh, I believe him, don't you?
Well, why would a famous person get on the tube? First of all, he can't possibly be short of, you know, a few million.
Well, Bill Buckley does.
Well, I think yes. Well, he's Bill Buckley though. Bill Buckley is not as famous as Paul Ross.
Well, he comes at night, Bill Buckley, when it's dark.
And Lucy's telling me that he got mugged at Latimer Road Station. See, there's another reason why you don't want to get off at Latimer Road Station. I mean, I've never even heard of such a thing. Latimer Road Station, does it even exist?
Yes,
You're
it does.
making it up.
I don't live...
The Hammersmith and City line, I've never heard of it.
Oh, you're just whinging and whining.
That doesn't sound like me, Joanne.
Well, it does really, I have to say. But I'm glad you're on more often. That's good.
Thanks, Joanne.
I look forward to listening to you.
All right, cheers, my dear.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta. Nice lady after nice lady, Luce.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, you are the...
What? Is this going to be bad?
Yeah, it was, but I'll just... Because it's your birthday, I'll just stop there. So what did you get for your birthday?
I don't know yet. It's only
Right.
just started.
Oh, it's only just begun.
The card was my first thing that I've had,
Right.
which is nice.
Well, I was going to, if I had remembered, when you told me last week, and I do have a vague memory that you said something about that.
Yeah.
I think I must have thought, yeah, but you're going away on holiday, so you won't be here for your birthday.
I'll get out of it.
You didn't make it clear enough. So it's not my fault that I forgot.
No.
And you only mentioned it
My
in
fault.
passing as an evil way to make me feel guilty, which is,
Why would I do that? I didn't really mean to, but we were talking about other shifts and things, weren't
yeah, and then you just slipped it in. Oh, by the way, yeah.
Yeah, well,
See,
what
I
else?
won't do that because I don't want you to feel guilty. So I will flag it up a month in advance and give you regular reminders.
we? Will you?
Yeah.
That's kind of you.
Well, I don't want you to feel upset when you miss it.
But I didn't keep reminding you, because then that just sounds...
Well, no, exactly.
Stupid.
You didn't keep reminding me, thereby ensuring that I was going to forget.
Yeah,
It's
but-
all your fault.
But as we get older, we don't flag up our birthdays, do we? Really?
Older? You're not older.
Well, it's not a significant birthday.
No, I'll say.
And once you've gone...
It's only yours.
Once you've gone past 30, you know, it's less exciting, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And, you know...
Well, that's one way of putting it. Frightening, surreal. Well, once it gets surreal, then you might as well just forget it. Once you can't relate to the number that is your age on any level, then it's just they don't mean anything anymore. It's like my age is, well, it's comically old, and I don't relate to it in any way. I often think, in fact, there was an
But
excellent...
you are very young-minded, aren't you?
Are you saying childish? I've never been so offended.
May I help you?
So I've just seen the card that you got from Alex, and he's given you a card with a picture of a pub on it.
It's not really a pub. It's more sort of restaurant bar.
Yeah. Booze. What's he trying to say?
Well...
That's what I was going to get you, by the way, because when you told me that it was your birthday, I thought, oh, I'll get her a bottle of champagne. Still, it's a thought that counts.
Oh, that would have been lovely.
I know, wouldn't it? There's always next year.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had the... Should I take these calls?
Yeah. Or do you want to talk first? Is that you want to get something off your chest?
Well, yeah, it's the... I had a run-in with the bank.
Oh,
well,
no.
with the credit card company.
Maybe we should take the calls.
Ilkley. Sean.
Hi there.
Sean.
Hi, you alright?
I am alright, thanks, yeah.
I did the YouTube animation that you saw and you've been enjoying.
You did them?
Yeah.
How do I know it's you? You could be anybody.
I could be. Put me on the spot now. I don't know how do I prove it?
How did you do it?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't give that away. Oh, I collected the week's newspapers and cut them out, glued string to them, put a web camera on, and just moved the strings in time to what came out of the radio.
No, you didn't.
No, I did do the animation.
Well, you did what we're talking about, in case you don't know, is I wish you'd taken another conversation that I had, because I was particularly rubbish on that call.
Well, no, you were. I thought you sort of trimmed away the BS. But she was making her whole argument was because she was gay, lesbian skateboarder, which had nothing to do with the point she was trying to make.
Or anything, yeah. But then I was because I was doing something else at the time. I must have been sorting out the papers.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I was tempted to kind of cut out the odd sort of fumble and stutter and stuff.
Well, I wish you... Yeah.
But I thought, well, no, because that will take away the essence of it.
The essence of it, yeah. You got to keep in the essence. But then I was unpleasant to her at the end, and I just thought, well, I was only unpleasant because I wasn't really paying much attention. And then, if as it goes by on a live program, you just forget about it because then you start talking about something else. But if it's just played over and over again, and you concentrate on just that one bit, then that mistake starts to hit you in the face, and that's all I can concentrate on. But what we're talking about is if you go to YouTube, and you do a search on my name, then it comes up with, which is Nick Abbott, by the way, 2 B's and 1 T. It comes up with a film that this chap has done. It's a cartoon of one of the calls I've done. He's also done one of an Ian Lee call, which is also absolutely hilarious. I'd have to say that you are one of the best animators I've ever seen.
Oh man, thanks. I mean, the thing is, it's almost like a self-portrait of my mind as I'm listening to the sort of the callers, because I'm just sitting there thinking, what?
And some of the details only emerge, only reveal themselves after you've seen it several times. Like, it took me several times to figure out that you were using a minor drinking tea.
Oh, right, yeah.
As,
minority.
To go with the word minority.
Oh, yeah. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel for that one, I think. But,
are you a professional animator?
Yeah, but...
Is there much call for that in Ilkley?
Well, I work for a company, but the kind of work I work on is like sort of pharmaceutical cells and
want to score some pot?
Really sort of not interesting. Nothing that involves hilarity or humour or entertainment.
You work for a drugs company and you're a cartoonist.
Well, not a cartoon. I mean, if you look at my other stuff, I do sort of more sort of corporate style stuff, which that's what pays money.
Right.
For example, would you like to pay me to do another one?
There's two questions there. Would I like you to do another one, and would I like to pay you to do it.
Exactly.
Well,
Right.
yes and no, in that order.
No, exactly. Because that's the thing. It's like, in order for me to do it, it's like obviously I have to want to do it, and there's no money, so
Yeah.
clearly it's because I enjoy doing it.
Well, I think that you should definitely get work doing that because they're hilarious, and the Ian Lee one is just laugh out loud funny as well. I mean, this crazy woman comes on talking about a flu remedy, and well, you've got to watch it. So go to YouTube, or in fact, you've got your own website. Go ahead, tell us what it is.
Well, if you've got to youtube.com/White Hart Movies, you'll see my sort of collection of videos.
Have you not got a .com?
whiteheart.co.uk will take you to the same page.
Right, whiteheart.co.uk.
And that's...
you should definitely be making money doing that.
I'd love to do that, but as you just demonstrated, it's hard to separate money from people's pockets. But,
what occurred to me was that if... excuse me a second. If LBC ever advertise on television, because TV adverts for radio stations are always rubbish.
yeah, I've seen the...
Unless that we've got one going on at the moment, in which case it's superb. Don't shake your head at me, Luce.
We haven't.
We haven't, right.
No.
They're always rubbish. Name one TV advert for a radio station that's ever been watchable. They're pants, aren't they? I can't think of a single one.
Obviously, Heart's advertising has been...
Oh, well,
tremendous.
obviously, yes. Well, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But what occurs to me is that if somebody should get you just to do exactly that, for an actual real slice of what's been gone on air, and you animate it up, and that's the kind of thing that you can watch over and over and over again, and people will start talking about it, and have you seen this, and there's this tiny little detail there, have you clocked that, and you should be making a giant fortune. Did it take a lot of time? Was that a daft question? It looks like it took weeks.
Yeah, it was a labour of love, yeah. But, you know...
All I need now is to figure out how you can download the movies so I can keep it forever and ever.
Right.
And if only you could, like I think I said this last week, if only you could do it live, if only you could animate this show live, then it would be funny.
I started thinking about that. I could listen to the London time broadcast of it and hook up a webcam to some sock puppets and broadcast that in time with the DAB signal. So I've got like a 30-second buffer. And, yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Well, yes, it would. And if you could knock up an oil painting that sums up the show as well by the time we finish, that would be super. But listen, thanks very much for that, and I feel sure that Ian wants to pass his thanks on as well.
But again, it's a big fan, and you know that's what it was all about. It was just sort of like thanks for all the shows you've done.
Well, I'm a bigger fan of yours than you are of mine.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
All right, thank you.
Cheers, bye.
Ta-ta. This is LBC. I'm Nick Abbott, and I wish to register a complaint. So I'm just sitting there, minding my own affairs, opening the, shall I get into this now or later?
It's up to you.
All right, well, I better take some of these, because otherwise it would be rude to ignore them. Southampton. Hello, Stuart.
Oh, hi, Nick.
Stuart.
I would just want to say happy birthday to Luce, because it's her birthday today.
Yeah, happy birthday, Lucy.
And it's my birthday on Tuesday.
No one cares.
And I'm going to treat myself and go and see your favourite band.
Who?
The Pet Shop Boys.
The Pet Shop Boys.
Yes. I'm going to have to go on my own because my friend who's supposed to be coming has suddenly said he can't come.
Yeah, I wonder why. It's because suddenly he's realised what he's going to, yeah.
And the same friend actually was supposed to come and see them with me in London last year and actually had too much to drink the day before and said he couldn't get on the train.
Well, you're beginning to get the message?
I think so, but I'm hoping you might start to warm to them a bit, Nick, as they're, if they stick around for a bit longer.
The Pet Shop Boys. The same song, over and over and over.
Boring!
Why would you want to go and see that?
I think secretly, Nick, you do like some of their
I
stuff.
hate them. And intelligent people will always, well, they're so smart and witty and erudite and the songs really mean... No, it's not. It's just crappy disco over and over and over again.
I just think I don't analyse it too much. I just think they make melodic pop songs, and I don't get too much into the whole thing about the lyrics and Neil Tennant and his writing. I just think they make nice tunes.
Yeah, but it's the same tune again and again and again, and that dreary tone that he's got to his singing voice, and I just can't stand them.
So there's no Pet Shop Boys albums in your collection then?
Not a one, no.
You mentioned something about credit card earlier, and I got a new credit card this week, which is, I don't know if you've heard about it, it's one that you can put in your Skybox.
Is it?
Yeah, and what you can do is you can put it in your Skybox, and because you know you get points and rewards on credit cards, there's one now you put in your Skybox, and you can actually get some of your box office movies or whatever, or reductions on Sky, which is quite a nice little idea.
Huh, points make prizes.
Yeah, so, and I actually managed to speak to somebody and get through and sort it all out, and had no problems at all, but it sounds like you had a bit of a problem with a credit card yourself.
Yes, I did. I'm glad you asked.
What happened?
Well, I've got one more call and an ad break to take.
Then you're going to go into a rant, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you get on with it then.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Thanks, Nick.
Cheers. Here is Clapham. Oh, Reginald.
Yeah, hi, Reginald.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just have to say, you know, I've had to move down to London, leave my beloved North due to ill health, come to live with my daughter. And I have to say, when I drank your beers down here in London, I've never drunk such a load of cobwebs in my life.
Cobwebs? He restrained himself. I felt sure he was going to use the P word.
Well, you know, I'm a man who doesn't like to, you know, swear too much. You know, I'm a man of taste and decency. But quite frankly, I'd rather stick a corkscrew up my backside than drink the beers you call it, beers down here.
You could always do both.
I don't know. But then what do you expect, Nick, you know, when these beers produced by a load of carbonara eating, cappuccino eating pansies? You know, what happened to the good old days when men were when, women were women, you know, and all this sauteing and your marinating and your this and that, you know.
And your rocket salads, yeah.
Exactly, your rocket salad in your Islington coffee shops. What's wrong with a bit of good old roast beef, Yorkshire pudding?
Exactly, Lucy. And that's all your fault, too.
It just makes me sick to the teeth, I tell you, Nick.
Huh. Because I always get sick to my stomach. He gets sick to his teeth.
Well,
that's,
you know...
That's all the way from his stomach to his teeth, and all the bits in between.
Indeed, and you know, how can I put me through this pain? You know, sort your beers out. What's all these new beers, your Lefts and your Bières and your Stella Artois?
And don't even get you started on your ciders, yeah, I know.
I know, it's just not what it used to be.
Well, nothing is as it used to be, including nostalgia. But anyway, Reginald, I've really got to go, all right?
Very well.
Best of luck with your health, mate.
Take a note what I say.
Oh, I absolutely will, yeah, I've written it down.
This is London's big...
Be polite!
Or he'll kill you.
So gentle.
Kensington and Chelsea hate coffee shops. A council in London is hoping to make a stand against the march of coffee shop chains and internet cafes on its high streets. The Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea has commissioned an independent report into the shops in the area, which is one of the wealthiest in Britain. Only top people can live there, Lucy. Proposals include forcing big chains to pay a levy to support independent retailers and changing planning laws so that shops cannot be converted into coffee shops or internet cafes. Merrick Cockle, the leader of the council, said, "If we don't change the laws, the high street will change forever." Well, I think it's a bit late, mate. It's gone and happened already. Every single shop in every high street in the land is exactly the bloomin' same. It doesn't matter where you are, it's all the same. You got your Boots, and you got your...
Gap.
Yeah. You got your three different types of Gap. You got your kids' Gap, and your baby Gap, and your Gap, and your... I don't know what else they've got. And on all the clothes look the bloomin' same, don't they? Year after year after year. There they are. You got khaki, pleated trousers, and grey T-shirts. Oh, wow, hold me back.
And the old white shirt.
Yeah, you don't get your Kate Moss essentials in there, do you, Luce?
No, I don't get Kate Moss essentials anywhere.
Oh, that's right, because
You've got to be a stick-thin
Yeah.
woman. Not someone of my great age.
Yeah, you shot... Oh, no, I won't.
Do you want to do your credit card round?
How long have we got?
Well, how long do you need? Oh, dear.
But the coffee shops thing, I don't really, be honest. The coffee that you get in most coffee shops, in fact, almost all of them, is so bad that you can't imagine why anybody would drink it twice. Am I right? I mean, the only reason that it's palatable is that it's mostly milk.
Well...
And that's why I drink mocha, is because it disguises the taste of the rubbish coffee.
Well, I have to say, my neighbour runs some coffee shops around London. Not a chain or anything, some independent, and he sells very good coffee. And he's given us some of the coffee, and it is absolutely lush.
One of the best coffees I've had in London, well, maybe ever, was in one of the worst locations I've ever sat and had a cup of coffee. It was opposite the top person's store, Harrods.
Oh.
It was on Brompton Road.
Yeah.
Which is basically like a motorway, isn't it? It's like
Yeah,
6
it is a
lanes
bit,
of
yeah.
constant traffic. Well, there's one of the coffee shops just opposite. It's an independent run. It's like an Italian place. And you sit, we're sitting outside, which is basically like sitting in the middle of a motorway. Lorries, buses, thundering by, and you can feel the wind as it comes by. You can feel the blackness of
the carbon coating.
Yeah, exactly. Every large vehicle that comes by, you can feel you're getting this sort of Teflon. You could fry eggs on your face, and they wouldn't stick with the Teflon coating of carbon that you're getting on your
Oh, dear.
vile. One of the worst places to sit and drink a cup of coffee I've ever sat in my life. But just the foam. It was. I knew I was in the presence of something special.
Something great
Yeah.
was about to...
It was fabulous. So terrible location. You don't want to sit outside. But if I'd done the smart thing and gone inside, then it would have been a super sensory soar-away experience. I thoroughly recommend it. Yeah. But the coffee chains. I mean, there's only one chain that I would well, two actually. The other one is more of a sandwich chain. But really, only one that I would actually buy coffee from. In fact, I'd get the sandwich in one place and go and buy the coffee in the other.
I don't know which one. Oh, right. I knew that was your sandwich one.
Caffè Nero.
Oh, right. Oh, really? Yeah, actually not
Other
bad.
coffee chains are available.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one I don't like very much.
Well, all of them. The most popular in the world serves some of the worst coffee I've ever had. In fact, it should be against the law to describe it as coffee. But how has that become so successful? It's almost as though people have never had actual coffee before, and so they've been duped by all these silly long names.
It has become
Oh,
a
I'd
craze,
like a
hasn't
mocha, coffee, espresso,
Mocha, chocolate,
chicky, wacky, lacko, who now?
With some ice in it.
Yeah, in a bucket, please. It's so bad, I want to drink a pint of it.
I think it's seen as cool to be drinking a coffee.
Well, it
around.
isn't.
No, but that's what people think, isn't it?
I mean, when did we get so thirsty that you need to wander around with a coffee? That's just crazy. Well, since when did we need to walk around with a cup of coffee?
I think it's because we all need the hit because we're so stressed.
Well, that's not going to help
working
stress.
so hard.
That's going to make it worse.
Yeah, I know, but it makes you look busy. Oh, I need a coffee.
You need one of those organic hippie teas to de-stress yourself.
Groovy.
What, one of those sort of...
Yeah.
Red
one of those
Bush.
Cosmic teas, yeah.
I
Red
don't like
Bush.
that red. Have you tried that Red Bush tea?
Sounds vile.
Oh, it literally smells of sort of bushes. It's not my...
What kind of bushes?
Red ones.
Oh, right.
There's some downstairs. I'll make you a red bush
No,
next
that's
week.
all right.
Luckily,
You're
I
not going to
won't
be here next week.
You've got Chris looking after you, Agent Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll be off, sunning yourself. Don't worry about me, though. I'll just
I'll be
slog
fine.
away doing 2 shows a day. Don't even bother to send me a postcard.
Well, no, I won't. What?
Oh, well, then,
Well-
then my job is done.
Well, I don't really go in for postcards big time anyway.
Hi, Jessica.
Hello, Nick.
Jessica.
I think actually Lucy's hit the nail on the head with the coffee thing. You want that hit, and it's like a comfort thing. You know, you will pay sort of an extortionate amount of money just to comfort yourself a little bit. You think, oh, it's going to give me a boost and that's going to help. It's psychological.
Yeah, but you don't really get much of a speedy hit from a tiny amount of coffee that comes in a bucket of milk.
Yeah, you don't really get a caffeine hit unless you go for like a double espresso.
Yeah.
I quite like Carluccio coffee. That's lovely coffee.
What, without mentioning any brand names? Carluccio's, you say?
Yeah, that's lovely. Double espresso there. Nice. It's ridiculously expensive when you look at what it is. They've really sold it as a product.
Well, if a double, it's like I was saying last week, if a double espresso comes as twice the price of a single espresso.
Yeah, as a packet of
then
espresso.
Alarm bells should be ringing in your mind. Wow. Because in Italy, it's just a couple of pence or whatever they charge you in Italy.
I know.
Just a tiny amount more.
I've spent quite a bit of time in Italy, and there, they would laugh at you if you were having like a cappuccino.
Yeah, after 11 o'clock in the morning, yes.
In the morning. They would think you were crazy.
Exactly. So do as the Italians do.
As a sort of sexy kind of cultural thing, and I mean, I do buy into it because I buy the coffee all the time.
Do as Italians do and wear sunglasses that are so huge that they look like you've just ripped the windscreen off a car.
Ride Vespas and try and kill people on them.
Yes. Or do as the French do and shrug your shoulders and go, pfft. Anyway, Jessica, I've totally got to go. All right. Ta-da.
Bye-bye.
LBC.
A good friend of mine recently...
So anyway, I've got a credit card bill, which is all I ever get, really. I only ever get envelopes with windows. You never get an envelope that hasn't got a window in anymore,
and
do
you know if it's got a window, and it's always going to be
always
a disappointing read.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're lucky if it's not shocking. But anyway, this one came in, and I've got all of mine on direct debit, so I don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
They just pay the minimum amount.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just keeps racking up and up and up, and who can ever afford to pay them off? It's like this, I will never afford to pay them off.
Yeah. I know. It's depressing. Don't depress me.
Yeah, you never get forward, do you? You never actually work, it never solves itself, it only gets worse. Because the interest goes up faster than you can pay it off, so it's, oh, well, anyway. So it comes in, it says, blah, 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 late payment, fee, £22. Interest, £30. Yeah, and I was only ever using this card because they said for the next 6 months you can get 0% on all of your purchases. So I hadn't used it for years. So I'm like busily, you know, buying all my knickknacks and comestibles. What was that?
I don't know. It's like a little whistle.
It wasn't me.
To your stomach, Alex.
You should
anyway, so the direct debit thing didn't work.
Oh.
And so I call them up and they say, "Oh, your bank
didn't process it."
They cancelled your direct debit on October of last year. Either you did or your bank did.
Your bank aren't allowed to without your
Well, I said, I certainly didn't, and they said, and they wouldn't have done either. And they said, "Oh, well, we'll call you back." And the amazing thing was that they actually did. I couldn't believe it. Anything else playing with the lights out there? Will you pack it in? I'm trying to do a show here. It's like looking at a Pink Floyd show.
Disco just for the end.
Yes, it's putting me off. I can't. My train of thought has gone.
Just think credit card.
Yeah, credit cards, okay. And so I call them up, and you know, you start calling these, any financial organisation, and there goes your day. 3 hours later, you're still listening to Greensleeves, and trying to remember should I be pressing button 1 or 5, or... And you go through this thing where you put your credit card number in, and then you press the hash key. And then you put your date of birth in, and then you go through 10 different options, and to speak to a person who then asks you the same information. Why did you need to put it in if they're going to ask you that information again? Answer me that.
I don't know. Because often there's a trick security question that maybe you wouldn't have known.
So...
number 4, what letter is it? Of your password?
T.
Don't tell me. Everyone in London knows now.
So anyway, I asked my bank, I said, did you cancel this direct debit? And they said, no, sir, we did not. And so I got back onto the credit card company, and they, and you speak to a different person all the time. The first person you speak to say, oh, well, we have a policy where we will not refund any, fees that we charge you on your account. We won't do it. No matter how many times you ask, and I'm furious at this point. And they, start, I don't know whether it was because I was trying to remain calm. Mentally, you know, in my mind, externally I was calm. My mind, internally, was going... And so they started to shout at me. Each one of these individual people that I was talking to, because they would say something asinine, like, I'd tell them my bank said they didn't cancel the charge, and they said, oh, well, they would say that, wouldn't they? What kind of a thing is that to say? Oh, I've been working in banking for 20 years, and I know this, that, and the other. Come to find out, your bank, if you don't use a direct debit within a year, they'll cancel it and not tell you.
Really?
Yes, really. And so I'm on the phone to this woman, and I'm talking louder, and she's talking ever louder and shouting over me, and I eventually said, well, which department am I speaking to? And she said, customer satisfaction.